this should be pretty good. Now, when we going to do the Kickstarter for, I have no idea. We already backed up as is.
What the hell? I can't use this title on Twitch.
What title? Oh, the Magical Negroes.
Apparently. So I'm just not going to stream to Twitch today because I'm not changing the title.
Nah. Yo, when I saw Spell Broken, the Magical Negroes failure, yo, I'd laugh because I've been testing out. Instead of me using the Sony imaging thing, NVIDIA has one called NVIDIA Broadcast. So I've been trying to use that. So I was testing this to make sure that it worked. What I needed to do I need to exit out and minimize it in the tray or whatever to be able to still use it? So I figured out which one I had to be. I had to exit out once I turned it on, and it's fine, right? And that's when I saw the title. This nigga is wilding. Magical Negroes is wild.
Nigga, I just
which on some snowflake shit.
Jonathan.
Sean P.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's possible that it's the colon. Because I don't know if I don't think I've ever used the colon for our titles since we started streaming to Twitch, but so it could be the colon, but I'm not.
Next time, just use a colon cleanser.
Shut the hell up.
Dirty. What's up, Biddy? Oh damn!
Yeah, Sunday.
Oh,
yeah.
Is Sunday coming up?
This past Sunday, fool.
It was? Yo, I don't be.
Yes, I understand. No. Yes, this past Sunday was
daylight savings time. With the idea of telling
us. Yo, I don't know if this is a fucking Mandela effect. I could have sworn they said that shit was over.
Me too. Oh, but he said theirs changed at the end of the month.
I could have sworn they said this shit was over.
Yo, I could have sworn. Matter of fact, hold up. Daylight savings. Let's see. How should I word this? Change.
Yeah.
Here we go. Are we going to lose daylight savings time? Dozens of states continue to consider proposals to adopt either permanent daylight saving time or permanent standard time. Yet no states have adopted a legislative change since 2022. Without new movement on proposed changes, Americans should expect clock changes to continue into 2024. Yeah, no shit. I swear, I'm so sick of this culture, yo. I really gotta get the fuck out of here, yo. Like they can't do any. Like everything is incrementalism. So you hear somebody comes up with a great idea that can help a whole bunch of people's lives, and what do? We're gonna get right on that. We should have that all fixed up for you in 50 years.
Right. Like, what are you talking about? What was the point of this?
There was no, and then when I talk about it, if you're not gonna do nothing immediately, it ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right, because the people that are paying attention can see that you're not doing anything when you bring it up.
You're doing nothing.
Just don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up, bro. I can't stand this fucking bullshit. So hold up, it's 11:04. Should we do this intro?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Me.
Oh, okay. All right.
And me too.
All right. Okay. All right, nigga.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You
and I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. I gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing I ever do, I gotta get out of this place. Gotta be a better way for me. It's got. What's up, free thinker? It's got to be.
What up?
I was tired. Yo, what's funny about that is I watched the battle between Charlie Clips and Lou
Lou.
Castro. With that line Lou used, so he said, "Eyes." What do you say? Eyes something like the way slaves talk. That shit was hard, yo. And I saw the battle before, right?
Yeah,
I saw the battle before, but the second time on second watch, Lou had no reason to feel bad.
No, Lou did amazing.
Really good all 3 rounds.
He just happened to lose.
Clips.
Yeah, he just had it was a motivated clips.
And when he's motivated,
yeah, it's a problem.
It's not a lot of people that can beat his goofy ass,
He
especially on a big
Clips battle Chavez today.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I saw the face off stuff between Chess and Miss Hustle and Rock and Serious Jones and shit. Serious Jones, yo, like
delusional.
He's very delusional, and it's like I'm the first one to give him his props to say he don't lose often. Like
facts.
But he's delusional as far as his overall impact today. Like I'm all about understanding what a nigga did back then and what it meant to the culture back then.
Absolutely,
you can't take that from him. But when he said shit like "Ask Rock," but you do have fans overseas. Are you fucking crazy? See, I think he tried to base it on, have you ever toured overseas? Yo, this been a new day for a minute.
Yo.
You do realize that you can accumulate a fan base just from being online.
Yo, like, but not even that. If he was, I hate when people do shit like that when they don't do their homework.
Yeah.
Some like 4 or 5 Summer Madnesses ago, they went to London.
Yeah. Yep.
Rock was on stage. He battled, and they went crazy.
Yo, people know who Rock. Yo, right on his Instagram, Rock clipped that part and put in a video on there, and somebody and like Jones was of course in the comments, and this is good promotion. So do your thing, right? Right. He in there still with the delusional shit, and while he's being delusional, you literally had international motherfuckers in the comments going, Fuck you mean I'm from Australia? We love Rock.
Right.
Fuck you mean I'm from the UK? We love Rock. Fuck you mean I'm from Africa? We love Rock. That's Cat. We love Rock. What are you talking about? Delusional, B. Like delusional. What? That's the Rockadile. That's drug dealer. What are you talking about? This nigga been balanced. He was 16. Stop it, yo. We got old videos of him in Baltimore in a goddamn shoe store, battling some other little nigga. Got videos of him battling some other little nigga in the sub shop. Like, he been doing this for a while. Then he tried to bring up the fact that the man ain't really from Baltimore, he's from Edgewood. That's what I don't be liking. This is what I don't be liking, right? When you're not from Maryland, period. Shut your dumb ass up about where niggas from. You don't understand the politics here. You don't understand the territorial politics here. You really don't, right? So yes, it's true. He's not from Baltimore, but he battled in Baltimore much of his early career, right? He was in pit fights. He got famous little battles in pit fights with Shaka and them throwing him. Baltimore battles. He in that league, like he battled in that league. He battled motherfuckers there. So it's like, when they put Baltimore on there, I'm gonna tell you why they put Baltimore on there. Because no one outside of Maryland knows who Edgewood is.
Facts.
They don't know who Edgewood is. This is marketing.
Right. It doesn't really make sense to say, It
doesn't make sense to say that.
Wait. So, all right, hold up. I found. Hold on. God damn it. Okay. So, the question is, does Tay Rock have fans overseas? That's the question that Jones asked, right?
Jones asked, yeah.
That's the question Jones asked. Let me see. This is when Smack is introducing Tay Rock.
No, it's life. Talking to the stage. Represent Karen Gang. It's my man.
The Tay Rock Pop.
Yeah.
Rock is a star, yo. Like, what are you talking about?
His heart.
I'm gonna say yes.
Rock is a star.
I'm gonna
Like,
say yes. And this
what are
video,
you talking about?
this video is from 5 years ago.
He's a
So,
bigger star now than he was then.
what are we talking about?
If they was, I swear, if they was to do another Def Jam Vendetta, but kept the Def Jam part out with rappers in it, Rock would be a character in the game.
Yeah,
He'd 100% be a character in the game. He's a star. What are you talking about?
Jones, come on, bro.
Then Jones, I'm gonna tell you the other thing I think he's trying to allude to, because he mentioned it a little briefly about I do things outside. I'm outside of. Nigga,
sure.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Do you still though?
You got signed.
Yeah.
Drop the project. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. You didn't change the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't change either music culture outside of battle rap or battle rap. You basically did what Mookie did. Got a deal. Didn't go nowhere with it. So all that other stuff you talking about, your claim to fame is still battle rap. When you was going overseas before all of that, it was for battle rap. I remember back then. I remember when Jones was battling Philippines. And I remember that shit. It was still battle rap though. It wasn't like you was going there to have a concert. And also, let's keep a spade a spade. Any of them places you probably went at to perform your music, I guarantee you the venues were not huge. And if you lucked up to get on a festival, which I don't see any video, you would have video footage of that. You would definitely have some footage, photos or something of that shit. If you was going to a festival, I always have to remind people, festivals are the biggest cheat code ever. Because it's not necessarily true that those people are there to see you.
No. They might not be there to see any particular individual.
Right. There's something going on right now at the time. Right. Some food, money, drinks, girls. I'm going. Right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of that is exact. And I get the exaggeration. I get it. It's necessary. It's part of the brand. It's the PR. Big record execs do that shit all the time with their prospects. They want to big them up. That's why the numbers used to matter so much until people start finding out the numbers don't mean shit. But, well, see, at least in this era, streaming numbers with a grain of salt. You gotta take streaming numbers with a grain of salt. It's not what motherfuckers they've been making it out to be. And as time is going on, the industry is suffering for it. But they did it to themselves. So don't nobody feel no pity. I know I don't feel any pity. Right. I've hated record companies since I was in my mid-20s. So it's just that it was the only game in town. It was the only game in town, and it wasn't until like real inroads was made, technology-wise and shit like that, to make it feasible to be an indie. Because I'm gonna tell you, my first producer, Sean Black, he was on that indie shit early. I remember him talking about this indie shit in the 90s. He was like, yo, we should just be doing this shit independent. And I laughed at him. Right. Because this is the fucking 90s. Like indie, how?
It wasn't really
how?
Yeah.
How? He was ahead of the game with that, but unfortunately there really was no game. Yeah. Like to do anything indie would have been so difficult. Like it was people that was doing it, to be sure, but it
existed.
Crazy. It existed, but I wasn't trying to do it.
Yeah.
Not until it got easier.
No, facts. All right. Dang, I didn't. We about to fuss.
I know.
We about to fuss a lot.
I know.
So
I'm on my Ant-Man eating some orange slices.
Oh my God. All right. So before I get into the actual topic, let me read a definition of a word. Satire. Merriam-Webster, definition number 1: a literary work holding up human vices and follies to ridicule or scorn. Definition 2. Wit, irony, or sarcasm used to expose and discredit vice or folly. I'm gonna, because it gives examples of satire in a sentence. I'm gonna use
Discord.
What up? I'm gonna use this one, and it's gonna be ironic later on. I'll explain when it arrives. But one of the examples of satire in a sentence that Merriam-Webster gives is a statement from Newsweek. Unlike late night talk shows that traffic in Hollywood interviews and stupid pet tricks, The Daily Show is a fearless social satire. Not many comedy shows would dare to do 5 minutes on the intricacies of Medicare or a relentlessly cheeky piece on President George W. Bush's Thanksgiving trip tirade. One more definition for satire.
Keep going.
This is a little more in depth. The use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity or vices, particularly in the context of contemporary politics and other topical issues. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, there is a movie that just released yesterday, I believe. A while ago, when I was around the time I was deciding that I was about to start making content on TikTok again, the trailer for this movie dropped. Now, when the trailer dropped, I think I had heard the title before, but I didn't pay any mind. So apparently there was a teaser that came out before that.
It was.
That gave people the idea that this movie, the name of the movie is the American Society of Magical Negroes. Mm-hmm. Apparently the teaser that came out before the trailer gave people the idea that this would effectively be like some Harry Potter, but with black people type thing. Mm-hmm. And then the trailer came out. And when the trailer came out, it got panned to hell. And no, I'm not going to go into specifically why yet. So there was a bunch of backlash, a whole bunch of backlash. Mm-hmm. And then there are people who at that point hadn't even heard the name. Right. So when you hear that name, there are some people that automatically, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So because that name, by the way, y'all, listen.
It can go several ways. Here's the thing.
It can.
And there was a way they could have made this name work. Spoiler alert, I don't believe they did. So they pushed to the trailer, and eventually, not even eventually, it was backlash to the trailer, and then the director and the lead actor did some type of interview. Actually, I think David Attenborough was there too. They did some type of interview where it was like, no, you guys don't understand. It's satire, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Then, since the movie was due to release yesterday, they did this damage control article that came out yesterday. American Society of Magical Negroes cast and directors say not to judge the film by its trailer. Wait. Oh, no, stop. Let me read the article. A social media backlash was not the response that writer and director Kobe Libby and his cast expected when the trailer to his debut feature, The American Society of Magical Negroes, dropped back in December. Perhaps false assumptions best sum up some of the response, as in the case of one viewer who said they expected a black Harry Potter adaptation and felt blindsided. Libby's film is instead a satire examining the magical Negro trope, a term Spike Lee is credited with coining decades ago to call out Hollywood's tendency to spotlight Black characters in supporting roles that cater to white main characters. Until recently, Black satirical films were a relative rarity on Hollywood's biggest screen, with writer and director Cord Jefferson grabbing an Oscar win for Best Screenplay Adaptation for American Fiction. That may change. So I haven't seen American Fiction yet, but according to everything I've seen, if you want to make a satire about Hollywood and Black people, American Fiction is the example, not this. Anyway, actor Justice Smith stars as Aaron, a young visual artist who shrinks in the presence of white people and is recruited into the American Society of Magical Negroes by Roger, played by David Allen Greer, to hone his ability to make white people comfortable in order to keep Black people from being harmed. Can I get to the quotes from the... Okay. No, that's still not one. Okay, here's one from... David Allen Greer says, as a kid, all these old dudes were telling me about 1920 and 30, and I was like, man, it's 1963, bro. We're modern, so it's very generational. How old is this nigga?
David Allen Greer?
Yeah.
This nigga's older than me.
So it was kind of the same thing we were talking about before the show with the politicians. And yeah, okay. Here's a blah, 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 blah. He continues, the reaction at Sundance was amazing. I remember mostly women, Black women, coming over and telling me their story of enduring microaggressions and why they chose not to stand up and the guilt that they had. You have to pick your battles. If we react to every little microaggression, you ain't going to make it to 12 noon. I've gone on audition. Oh, this is another person. This is Nicole Byer, who plays Dee Dee. She's the head of the American Society of Magical Negroes. I've gone on auditions where it's a Magical Negro part, where it's just a friend. You don't have any backstory. It's just like she's 32 and loves her best friend. I love the title. I love the title of the movie. I think it was so polarizing. And then I read the script, and I thought the script was so incredible. I love a big premise, and I love that it wrapped in a rom-com in it. Okay, so here's the thing about what they are saying. When you divorce the fact that they were in the movie, so they're defending it, then that's not to say that, let me be clear when I say that. I'm not saying they're lying about thinking the movie was a good idea.
Absolutely.
I'm saying they're defending it because they really did think it was a good idea at the time. If you take that part away, I don't have a single issue with what they're saying, because the truth is the trope does exist. The trope does exist, and it has perpetuated in real life. So yes, absolutely. However, I got a couple questions. In what other context would we deem this acceptable? If someone shows up to a job interview 45 minutes late without their resume, would we hire them? If we see a commercial for a new item at Burger King that contains 3 ingredients that you are allergic to, would you rush to the store and purchase it? If you see a tablet on Amazon that has a case and a screen protector in the main photo, but the description clearly states that it does not come with those things, and that's what made you even click on it in the first place, are you about to add it to your cart? No. What do you mean don't pay attention to the trailer? That's what the trailer is fucking for.
The trailer's the advertiser, you dickhead.
Like, what are we talking about here? And here's the crazy part. When they were doing that first round of interviews shortly after the backlash, I was like, because of how I feel about David Allen Greer.
David Allen Greer is a genius.
Right. I was like, okay.
Underrated genius.
Yes. I was like, okay. If he is still sitting here saying the trailer is not indicative of the movie, and we've seen situations where the marketing and the creative team are not on the same page,
right?
I'm like, okay, so maybe I'm still not going to go to the theaters to see this shit, but maybe he's right. Maybe it is a situation where the marketers was like, no, this is the best way to market this movie. Maybe, right?
Possible. There's only one problem with that, though. My main issue with with that trailer was, if you're making a satirical point and you're doing a trailer and you know you're using this name for the movie, you should at least hint to the larger thing that you're actually addressing,
right?
Because that trailer left it with the impression that we gonna be seeing just a bunch of niggas kowtowing, stepping, fetching.
Hey, hold your horses. You're getting ahead of the plot. You're getting ahead of the plot. So after I read this article, though, because it's more recent and I've seen more people talk about the movie, like people who've actually seen the movie, not giving any spoilers back then or nothing like that, but just saying like, no, this trailer absolutely did not misrepresent what the movie is. And I'm like, oh, so after reading that, I was only left to assume that these people in this article were either being disingenuous and gaslighting us, or that they were as dumb as they thought we were.
Yeah.
So last night I saw a tweet. This is obviously even got on here. I wasn't even gonna have a topic. It was gonna be the same thing that we did last week. Because I literally have updates to everything I talked about last week. So that's what it was going to be. But I was on Twitter last night. I saw a tweet saying that this movie had a 30% average on Rotten Tomatoes. Now I remembered that I had wanted to talk about this before, but I never did. Because like I said, I saw that trailer when I was deciding that I was about to start my TikTok stuff back up. And I was going to do a video on it, but I just never got around to it. So I was looking for press about the movie from Black outlets. Because you're in a situation where you're making this movie that you claim is so pro-Black.
And profound.
Yeah, there was one interview from the Today Show, third hour, which has all Black hosts, but that's still not a Black space. I stumbled across the Daily Show interview. That's why that example of satire was ironic, because I stumbled across a Daily Show interview where both hosts were white. The man made a joke about whether or not he was allowed to say Negro. And the woman called David Alan Grier Damon Alan Grier during her sign-off. My initial reaction to hearing Damon instead of David was, how dare you disrespect one of our legends? But I continue to look at the video and he's running around. First of all, he's running around defending this wet noodle of a movie. And second, he didn't correct. Matter of fact, don't take my word for it. I'm about to play this shit, because one thing that I know is that because we are a podcast that doesn't do too much of this adversarial me against you type thing, I don't want people to just think that, I don't want people to just take our words for what it is. No. No. Listen, you might have to listen a little closely, but
March 15th, Damon Allen Greer, everyone.
So, and again, he didn't go to correct her. He just smiled and laughed. Right. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Anyway,
Definitely ass niggas.
So I couldn't find a single Black space where anyone involved with this movie did press for it. I did stumble across a Griot article, but the Black woman who wrote the article was attempting to defend the trailer. Let me read this. No, I'm sorry. The Griot article. The Griot article is a different article. This article is a Mary Sue article. But still a Black woman that is trying to attempt to defend the trailer. The title of the article is A Defense of the American Society of Magical Negroes trailer. So
they got a magical Negro to make a
bruh, shut up. It's fairly uncommon to see a dramatic shift in public opinion between the release of a teaser trailer and the full trailer. However, this appears to have happened with the American Society of Magical Negroes. Writer-director Kobe Libby's satirical film follows the recruitment of Aaron into an organization of self-described magical Negroes. The title clearly references the storytelling trope of the magical Negro. This is a black character who exists in a story to help a white protagonist's personal journey, oftentimes through mystical means. Spike Lee has been credited for coining the phrase and criticizing films of the late 90s. However, these tropes continue to exist across media. This trope reared its head in the 2019 Maleficent sequel and in 2020 in The Queen's Gambit. Currently, there's a debate as to whether or not Chiron of Percy Jackson and the Olympians is a magical Negro.
No.
Based on the trailer, well, listen, it is what it is.
She's playing
because I remember
the white girl played, and it's not
right. Because I remember. I don't know if you remember this a while back. I did a TikTok about this because they was on Twitter talking about how the black people in the MCU were magical Negroes, and I'm like, bro, do you not understand what? Anyway, based on the trailer, based on the trailer and descriptions, satirizing this trope is a core element of Libby's film. This became a major point of frustration when the first full trailer dropped a few weeks back. Across TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, the criticism, excluding anti-black racism, centers around a few things. One major point being that this movie wasn't the black Harry Potter that some wanted. However, that chorus grew exponentially when the full trailer crystallized the trope was a central element of the film. Even some who understood the trope believed the title was a play on words and are expressing disappointment. The second biggest complaint I've seen online is a little bit more complicated. Critics of the trailer point to the newly revealed major conflict of Aaron falling in love with a white woman his white ward has a crush on. However, the currently unnamed love interest isn't white. I want you to really pay attention to these words. However, the current unnamed love interest isn't white. More than a quick glance or name check of the actor playing the role, Anne Lee Bogan, makes that clear. Let's stop here. I feel like she is gaslighting.
You took words right on my
just
mouth,
like
B.
I felt. She reminds me of those people that try to tell you that Meghan Markle always looked like she had black in her. In every time you've ever seen her.
Go watch her old stuff. And you come,
bruh. So again, we have a visual aid.
Oh goody.
This I don't really see. Hold on, which one is it? It's this one. So, which one is it? This is her. This is her. And I'm sorry, this is her. And this is the scene from the very movie she's talking about. In none of these photos is it readily apparent that she's not white. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, she looks straight from Wakanda, y'all.
now,
doing?
To be fair, if you did see her name, it would be readily apparent that she's not fully white. However, how the fuck would I know her name? If I didn't know who she was, and she was in the trailer for like 7 seconds, and it was her name again? Credits. Say again.
What was her name again?
Blah blah blah. Anne Lee Bogan.
All right, so
Lee L.I. Lee.
Not now. But at some point, we're gonna have to have a conversation about names.
Oh, absolutely.
To these.
Absolutely.
Y'all, it be fucking y'all.
Bruh, listen.
It's so fucking y'all up for real.
So at what point was anybody supposed to know her name? See, what y'all be wanting to do as little work. No. Y'all be wanting to do as little work as possible and then passing that off to other people.
Yeah.
Because the implication here is that when I watch this trailer and see what this movie claims to be about, and then see this woman who is white passing being the central love interest of the main character, I'm then supposed to go on Google, search for the movie, find her name, Google her name, and find out who she is. No, that's not realistic.
Let me ask you a question. How old were you when you found out that when they were saying tall, dark, and handsome,
they were not talking
they
about
wasn't talking about none of us?
It took a while. Like when I was younger, I thought that was what it meant, but they weren't talking about us. They're absolutely not talking about us, without a question. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, now to be fair, I did that.
Yeah,
I absolutely did that because it's what I do.
Right.
But to have any estimation that the average person would just stop in their tracks, go to Google and figure this shit out. No,
you know what?
She looked white. They're going to say she a white girl.
Bro, the reality is one of the balances that marketing teams have to face is the balance between not insulting the audience by assuming they wouldn't know this, but also making sure that this is accessible because a lot of people won't know certain shit, right? They won't. So you got to find a balance to make this relatable to across the board, the spectrum of as many people as possible without insulting them, but also not recognizing that a large percentage of y'all dumb as a motherfucker.
Facts.
A large percentage of y'all dumb as shit, right?
Facts. That is your responsibility.
That's your responsibility.
All right, the article continues. Bogan is biracial, Asian and white. Because this movie isn't an adapted work, it's unknown if her Eurocentric features influenced her casting. However, she is clearly an Asian woman, not that clearly, and it's wrong to call her white. While there are cultural nuances in how she is racialized, ultimately, to some people, it doesn't matter. An interracial dynamic still frustrates people because it's another black lead with a non-black woman in a movie lampooning the devaluing of black characters and experiences. The pairing up of a black character with a white or white passing. See, and this is my problem with her defense. She's acknowledging all the issues.
Yeah, she is. She's
the pairing of a black character with a white or white passing character is another media trope. Studios prioritizing interracial relationships where one person is white. It's almost as common as the colorist trope of a black couple with a lighter complexioned wife. When many people heard the word interracial, they think of a person of color with a white person. There's a disproportionate representation of the white-black hetero relationships in both algorithmic and curated media.
Who's this person of color they talking about?
In general.
I'm not in the person of color thing. I'm black.
Well, right.
Like, I don't know what that.
Stop it. Stop it. That's a whole nother.
There's
a whole nother kettle of fish.
Right.
Okay, so the next complaint that she tries to defend, even since the poll, most but not all on-screen romances between interracial couples featured a white person. Hollywood executives have little to no faith in films that don't star big-name white actors. If it's a rom-com or features a romance, that means one has to be white. Some might genuinely
in 2024. Still.
Some might genuinely want to add diversity and see an interracial relationship alone as progressive. However, they pat themselves on the back after carelessly writing in or casting a leading person of color by not considering how their race or other marginalization might change the story. Creators fail to address the context or tropes associated with these characters. Blah, blah, blah. So you're not, I know you might think you are. You're not actually defending the trailer.
No,
you're not. You're whatever. So I tried to find her thoughts on the movie now that it's been released, but her Twitter's private, and the link she has for her Instagram doesn't work. Hopefully, she didn't get dragged too hard for this article or any related takes. So
the internet is 2024. So,
bro, I mean, yeah, there is. I have not been this disappointed in a celebrity.
It's been a while
since Kanye, since the initial signs
of his bullshit. But
yeah.
See, this is why though, brother SPJ. This is why I don't have any sympathy for what's about to go down in Hollywood when this AI shit. I don't because they've been playing us crazy Since
facts.
pimping, since birth
Nah,
of the
that's
nation,
facts.
my guy.
That's
They've been playing us crazy, right? So
Facts,
I don't
facts.
think so. So when I see them get on there and do the whole thing about, but the industry is gonna, fuck
The
that
industry's
industry.
kind of trash, yeah.
Industry's
Industry's kind
trash,
of
bro.
trash.
It's trash. And if you were going to attack the trope,
Hold on. So there is an official verified Twitter profile for this movie that was created a year ago. It has less than 1,500 followers.
of course it does.
Scrolling through the profile with posts, but with interaction on every post averaging in the single digits, I came across a tweet that they retweeted. It was from a black woman. The tweet read, "I love this movie so much, I don't give a fuck. It's genius, funny, fun, and it's dragging white folks while highlighting the importance of learning our own comfort boundaries. My black people, go see this movie." Now, this tweet had 18 likes and 3 comments, none of which were pro movie. One of which mentioned her being in the marketing of the movie.
Oh,
That made me go to her profile. She has fewer followers than the official movie account does. I scrolled down and I see her quote tweet, the tweet that showed that this movie had a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. In her caption, she wrote a line from the trailer, quote, "What's the most dangerous animal on the planet? White people when they're uncomfortable," end quote. Now, for those that don't understand, the point she's trying to make is the reason that this has 30% on Rotten Tomatoes is because white people are uncomfortable. Well, ma'am, Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate.
Miss Ma'am. Give it the respect. Miss Ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Miss Ma'am. Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate website.
Yes.
The 30% score was the critic score. You can find the reviews on that very site.
Right there.
And
Bro,
said
right
reviews are often coupled with a photo of said critic.
Yeah.
So let's play a game. I'll read the review overview to you, and you tell me if this person was white or other, because again, they don't have to be black.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm going to read the snippet. You tell me if you think this person is white or other. Smith's nimble performance is such a pleasure to watch that it almost doesn't matter, but it's fair to say that this film could have gone even further with its bold scenario. So this is a positive take. White or other?
White.
Yep. Almost shockingly genteel, despite the discomfort courted by its title, this promising satire placates instead of provoking. So this is not so positive. But white or other?
Other.
No, this is white. But this is how, but listen. This is white, but is this how the type of people we know she's talking about respond when they're uncomfortable?
Oh no.
Saying that it's not harsh enough?
No.
No, that's not how that would. Okay.
That's not how that works.
Okay. Beneath the layers of magical realism and .com satire, American society feels personal and raw. This is a positive one. White or other?
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Beneath the layers of magical realism and .com satire, American society feels personal and raw.
Person of color?
No, white. So again, against her point, another white person that likes the movie. So many disparate ideas and tones are being mashed up here, and none of them gel. Clearly a negative one. White or other?
Oh, other.
Absolutely. So many disparate, what should be a daring exercise ends up being a lethargic analysis that doesn't have as much bite as it thinks it does. It's a noble effort that lands with underwhelming results. Negative, clearly. White or other?
White.
Other.
Wow.
Ironically, a film about making white people comfortable made me uncomfortable. Negative. Obviously, it's not a white person. Frustrating, but ultimately rewarding. So this is a positive one. White or other?
White.
White, a charming and witty debut from Libby that avoids some of the tonal issues of American fiction, but brings a lot to the table as far as its own social. Right. Though it's clear that first-time director Libby was intending for the joke to be on white people, the black characters are drawn with so much misery and self-loathing that the humor rarely lands.
Color.
Yep. This may not quite reach its full potential, but it is an entertaining satire and a promising debut from Kobe Libby, a filmmaker whose name we will be seeing a lot from now on.
That's why.
Positive.
That's why. And also,
yep.
It's not lost on me that Kobe rhymes with Toby. But anyway.
Shut up. I hate you so much. The film could have been seen as a sharp critique of respectability politics. Instead, it's an empty presentation of them. Negative, clearly. White or other.
That's black.
Well, actually Latino. Latino. You're never totally sure if the American Society of Magical Negroes wants to critique the anti-black world it exists in, or is simply content smiling in the face of the status quo.
Alert.
The American Society of Magical Negroes isn't scathing or edgy at all. Ironically, it's designed so that white audience can feel comfortable buying a ticket for it.
Alert.
So I can keep going because I like being thorough, but I can provide enough context to get the point across. Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregator. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregator. There were only 44 reviews. I've read 13 of them. Most of the negative ones I read were not white people.
Right. So it's not making any white folks feel uncomfortable. And whatever you thought, I don't believe you thought. Like,
right.
Seriously, like at a certain point, right? We've been here for a long, long time. We've had these conversations for a long, long time. We've had comedians, everything from Richard Pryor and some of his scathing commentary about society here in the United States and race relations to fucking Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live going, shall we kill the white people? We know there's a how to do this.
Those are effective satire.
Right. So if there's no way you're telling me that you thought that's what that no. And David Allen Greer, sir.
That's what I was just about to say. There's no way you were on In Living Color.
You were on it, bro.
No way.
I just sent you the clip of the Star Trek shit.
Yes.
Bro, they did shit like this all the time. There's no way. There's no way you did not take a look at this. Even let's say they left so much shit on the cutting room floor that it changed the whole thing. Because this happens. When he would have saw the finished shit, he'd have been like,
yeah. No, this ain't that, bro.
Hit the way it just don't, because it's David Allen fucking Greer, who, by the way, allow me to say this one time again, is a genius comedian that is underrated as a motherfucker.
100%.
Right? So this is disgusting.
It's so disappointing.
Yo.
All right. So a couple more reviews from different people. This person, this not Rotten Tomatoes. That I'm done with Rotten Tomatoes. This is just other reviews. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. A toothless satire blends with a half-baked rom-com, a flat comedy which barely seems invested in its provocative high-wire premise, nor does it know what to do with it. Another person, but somewhere amid the laughter, I wondered, are the jokes on black people rather than just for them? Yes, the movie is by us, but is it for us? This movie is funny for sure, but it also seems to fall into the very same tropes it's poking fun at and trying to highlight. After all, Aaron seems pretty miserable, and the other members of the society don't seem any more content. Are they unable to benefit from what the society is supposed to be doing for the betterment of black people's lives? And what of the history of the society's work? What are the implications? What have they achieved? The jokes are layered over the most meaningful of revelations in the movie. Sure, humor can be a powerful teaching tool, but it doesn't feel intentional here. Instead, it comes across as a way to make those hard topics palatable for the non-black viewing audience. And much like Aaron's misunderstood yarn creations, there comes a point where you have to ask, Who was this made for? If the lines and wisecracks so clearly made to get the biggest laughs out of a black audience are buried under not being too potentially offensive to non-black viewers, is this not the same as the trope it's fighting so hard against? The movie also has a second plot line with Aaron pursuing a relationship with Lizzie, a woman who he meets while undercover for the society. It's very sweet, though the ethnically ambiguous casting for his romantic interest, which shouldn't matter, rips at the film's own politics. Is it truly satire if it's all good for a laugh, but maybe not good for offering clear context on the topics it wants to expose and skewer? I suppose we'll see how the audience interprets it.
Kobe, I'm talk directly to you.
Mm.
You know what I think of you, Kobe? I think you're a half measure.
Well,
think
yo, you know what's funny? Go ahead.
Someone who can't finish the job. I think that you're a coward.
Bruh.
You know, the one thing you just can't see, you know, you're one bad day away from being me.
Yo! All right, last review. Well, again, not the whole thing, but an excerpt from a review. The film's idea of what constitutes blackness, however, is questionable. Is Rogers' countrified, all shucks submissiveness a sort of racist caricature? Hey, a sort of racist caricature meant to be seen as the authentic part or the palatable part. What's more, in its skewering of racial cliches, society ends up trafficking in banalities of a different yet just as overworked sort. Aaron's first assignment lands him in a scenario we've all seen before. He and Jason both like Lizzie, their fellow employee at Meatbox. Aaron suppresses his love for her, not because he's Jason's friend, but because it's literally his job. So much for life or death stakes. The lightweight nature of the plot is, arguably, appropriate to the film's gentle comedy, which elicits chuckles here and there, but rarely stings or draws blood. Smith also makes for an appealing, if frustratingly bantamweight hero. It isn't until close to the end that Aaron shows any grit. When he yells at Jason, "Make space for me." Oh no, he didn't literally say that.
My God. All right, so you know what's so fucking frustrating, bro?
Yo! You
know what's so frustrating about all of this? Especially as a black male. I can't speak for black females, although I'm pretty sure it's similar. Having a society that has deemed you ultra violent, ultra aggressive, basically a threat that needs to be contained, because at any given moment, one of these niggas could ape out, right? Having to balance the fact that I ain't no bitch with also being friendly, so that I'm not a threat. Don't try to play me though.
Right.
It's frustrating as fuck. And this is what I've meant when I've said before about black people PR in this country is fucked up, really globally. But this country is fucked up because the only way I'm considered one of the good ones is if I castrate myself.
Right.
As if any aggressive notion that I have, my demeanor in general has to be muted so that can't have nobody feel comfortable around me. Because you know when you feel uncomfortable, they start calling the police. They start pulling back access to shit that you need to succeed. It's frustrating as fuck. And then to see that very balance get celebrated by some of you fucking humps that take on certain ideologies that have never benefited us, and you support them with your whole face. Basically, yeah, you should be like that. I see all y'all with the same type of haircuts and shit. like that shit is frustrating as fuck, because at the end of the day, all I really want to be is considered a person, right? A person that sometimes laughs, sometimes is angry. That's it.
Yo, so for people who don't understand why we reacted the way that we reacted when we found out the quote "make space for me" is in the movie, is because of what Tim just said, right? So in real life, this is how. So one of my favorite videos of all time. It is from a critic, and he went over why Pulp Fiction, why the dialogue in Pulp Fiction was so amazing. And the video started out with one of the famous scenes from Pulp Fiction. They're going back and forth, and then it stops, and the narrator's voice comes in and says, "People don't talk like this."
Right.
That is the key to good dialogue. You do not do dialogue in a movie exactly how people talk in real life. That is generally not a recipe for success. There's supposed to be some type of subtlety. There's the thing that a lot of the snobs will preach until their eyes turn blue.
Right.
Do, show, not say. Show, don't tell.
Right. Show, don't tell. Right.
It's the exact opposite of what's happening with that makes space for me. So,
my God, man. Of all the whitey, weaselly,
right? It doesn't make you look good,
bro.
In real life, notice in real life, Tim just said, "I want to be seen as a human." In real life,
no one does this. No one's going to say, "Make space for me," bro. Listen, I was not taught by my mom, grandparents, uncles, OGs in the neighborhood. I was not taught that in order to be a self-advocate for me and for my community at times, I gotta be a punk.
Right.
I wasn't taught that.
Yeah.
So when I advocate for me, if I'm advocating for my community, I'm gonna talk to you like a man talks to you.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk to you, or like just take it out of the realm of sexual orientation. I'm gonna talk to you like a fully realized person who understands their fucking worth and understands that there's certain shit I'm not gonna allow a motherfucker to do to me or say to me without pushback.
Right.
And if that requires that sometimes I'm gonna be a bit aggressive in the delivery, it's because I'm a motherfucking man. All that other shit with these motherfuckers running around talking about, make space for me. I ain't doing that.
Yeah,
not doing it.
Nah.
But the PR means that the moment I advocate for myself in a certain type of way, here come the police, y'all. Here come the police.
Yeah.
This shit fucking suck, bro. It sucks.
So in conclusion, no, it was not just the trailer.
No.
And no.
And
no, the movie does not seem to have deviated much from what we expected from the trailer. And I loved seeing all the idiots that were trying to defend it back then. Talk about, I don't know what satire is. Yes, the fuck we do. Yes, we do. You don't know what satire is. Clearly.
And among other things you don't know.
Right. Basically, what happened is they tried to be revolutionary while also trying to please everybody, and that will only ever result in a half measure.
That's it. That's it. At the end of the day, if you're going to do something, do something. All that half-ass bullshit y'all motherfuckers out there trying to do, it's going to get you respected, and you're not going to make no money. Because here's the thing. Ain't nobody rushing out to see that shit. So you went and spent all this money. You might as well gave us a Black Harry Potter show.
Yo, thanks. Yeah, let me see if there's an update to the Rotten Tomatoes score because, like I said, it came out yesterday, so that means Thursday, really. Let me see.
And by the way, I didn't. I'm just really seeing this comment. Yo, this is 100%. This is 100%. The constant smear campaigns throughout history, I feel like have done more damage than the starting point ever. Right. Because again, if I can get people to believe certain things about you,
yeah,
I can then restrict access to all the things you need. This is 100% what it is. Right here. That campaign. You know how violent they are. Oh, you gotta be careful there. You know, they're not quite as smart as everybody else now. I got all this bullshit. All this bullshit.
Yeah. Both ratings have gone down.
Both
the rating, yeah, it was 30% critic, 57% audience. Now it's 29 critic, 55 audience. Bruh,
it's just y'all wasted. First of all, you wasted money, and you did something even worse than waste money. You wasted our time. Yeah. You wasted conversation. You wasted a conversation that desperately needed to be had.
Yeah.
And you could have been the vehicle for that conversation to be had. And instead, you did exactly what the damn name of the movie implies. You played Magical Negro. You tried to appease Neville Chamberlain. Yeah. You tried to appease
Bagger Vance. So the in contrast, American Fiction has a 93 critic and a 96 audience. Just putting that information out there. Wow. Again, I haven't seen American Fiction, but I want to because it has some people in it that I absolutely love. But I just haven't seen it yet. But I'm going to watch.
This is the same with music. You realize that. So when I got my second wind in music, a lot of the topics that I was talking about were previously not covered because people were scared, didn't know how to approach it, this, that, and the third. People I personally know who are artists that felt similarly or had other notions that were equally as strong, right? Refused to put that shit in their music. They refused to say something. And as a result of that, they wondered why I was getting the interviews and the attention. And they could be on the same track as me, but they talk about my verse. Right. It wasn't because I was way more skilled than no. When you scared to say something, you're not going to ever garner the attention or the respect. Because even if motherfuckers disagree with you, you're at least interesting. If you're scared to say shit, you'll never anybody can do the rapper trope. My jewelry, right? I'm from the street and I'm gonna do this. Anybody can do that shit now. But when you tackle like topics with your music that a lot of people are scared to talk about, to even address, and you don't do it in an apologetic way, people will tend to pay more attention to what you have to say, even if they disagree with you.
Right.
I've had two types of interviews. Interviews with people who think it's interesting, and people that have been somewhat adversarial, but they wanted to talk to me anyway. They wanted to get that. Either way, it got my name in the article. Either way, it got the interview. Either way, I got invited to come on TV shows. I did National Public Radio. I got interviewed by the BBC, because again, you can always go too far. My monkey ass argued with the editor of it for hours on the phone about something as innocuous as string theory, right? So they took my interview. I got interviewed by them twice. They did 2 interviews. They took my interview and they cut it and they only chopped a portion of it and put it in the intro of the thing. And I know why. Because I argue with, but that of course I gotta be me. I can't be this. Nah, I could have sat there and for the sake of that, that would have been a big interview for me, right? I could have gone there and said, yeah, string theory is a proven science. It's not. It's not. I'm not gonna sit here and play this game with your undereducated ass about some shit that you like, so you want it to be. I like it too, but it's not. It's not the consensus. It's a lot of people do think they
Right.
It's missing some shit that convince the majority. It's missing some shit. And I'm not gonna sit there and play that game with you. Like, you know what, you're right. Whew, now I can get my shit in the fuck that.
Thanks.
Fuck that. But the only reason I even got the attention in the first place because I wasn't scared to say something. Y'all scared to offend a motherfucker. And I'm telling you, there's offense and then there's offense. When you're punching up against a system, stop being scared. It's one thing if you beating down on a bunny.
Right.
And you making a rap about, I stomped the bunny's head in, kicked it in its little puffy ass. It's one thing if you did that. I beat his buck teeth down the store. Nobody's going to give you points for that. But if you punching up to something more powerful than you, trust me, motherfuckers are going to have some respect for that. And they're not going to do it with that mealy mouth bullshit that obviously this movie is doing. And I will never. And The Rock means ever watch this shit. Right? No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because you know why I'm not doing it? I'm going to tell you why. I see enough of it in real life.
Bruh.
I see enough of it in real life. Mealy mouth, weak-kneed, yellow-backed, limber tail ass niggas. Get the fuck out of here. Scared ass. Say something. Anything. Right. But all that I better not say that. Yo, it's people I know who are hyper aggressive in their raps and can really, but there's certain topics they never gonna cover, even though they passionately believe in it, they're not gonna cover it. And I'm like, yo, you're the artist. It's up to you to make the decision on what hills you're gonna die on. And I give everybody that space to do that. But if I don't hear nothing, like you can make choices. Like I'm not even fucking with that. But if I hear nothing ever, like not one piece of passion come from something you truly, and all it is appeasement. We all appease something at some point in time. That's not the point I'm making. Right. I'll never hear anything. Nothing. Not one controversial shit happens out there in the world. And you never cover it in no fucking song that you did. And you got this big ass dumb platform where you could be saying some shit. And I never hear you. Shit happens that directly affects a community you actually have been profiting off of connection with all this time. And you don't say nothing. Not one thing and not a straight line, a bar, nothing. Jay-Z is a billionaire and he'll say something.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's annoying. And I knew, like I said, there was a slither of time where I thought, okay, maybe there is going to be something with this movie.
A point that, like, we missed it because they kind of dropped the ball a little bit with the
right.
But in the movie, they going bam.
No, right. No.
By all indications, that's not what's going on there.
Nah. And here's the thing. Speculation is one thing, obviously, right? But first of all, I believe that I looked at the trailer yesterday. I believe the trailer I looked at yesterday is not the same trailer I looked at the first time. And in this trailer, it's clear that he chose to have a relationship with the girl. Right. So how is this any different than several other movies that we've seen? Several of them. You know, if you what did Damon say to him in the movie? If you try to stay with her, we're gonna erase your memory. You'll never remember her. I've heard this before. I've heard all of this before. Because that was the argument they was trying to push. Like, this is something new and blah, blah, blah. No, we've heard all this shit before.
We heard it all before.
Bruh, there's nothing new under this particular sun. No.
maybe some other sun.
Right.
But not under this one.
It's like, bruh, like but again, speculation is one thing.
Mhm.
These are reviews
These
from
are
verified critics.
Yeah.
From people who lying could cost them their job.
Yes.
Like misrepresenting what they saw could cost them their job.
Yeah.
It's no more. It's no longer
It's not
speculation.
And I will never, as long as I can draw a breath or a blade, ever watch this movie. It will never happen. It will never, bro. It's like I was saying before we got on. I'm so tired of this culture and that bullshit.
Oh, well, hold on. Hold on. In that case, we can review.
Let's talk about it. So, my week was pretty normal, surprisingly. Still mad about not being able to walk as long as I used to.
Yeah.
Still pissed about that. But some good news did take place. Finally, we got a chance to get some more books for the Majestic Comics store. You know what I'm saying? We got physical copies of Extra Entropy issue 0 and 1 are in there right now. So, if you guys interested? You haven't got your physical copy yet? Go ahead and get that. That's majesticcomics.shop. But that was a good thing. And it's so crazy because, you know, the printer that we use, they are located in Arizona. I am in Maryland.
Right.
We did two orders, 200 in total, but 100 are going into the store, 50 of each issue, and 100 is going over there with Graydon. I got my books before he did, which is like a whole day before he did. So that's super weird to me. Super weird. A couple things frustrated me though this week. Just a couple. Like how people are just obtuse to anybody else's issues but theirs. Excuse me. If it's one thing that I get, it's something you're dealing with every day. You deal with this every day, so you're going to be kind of tunnel visioned about that particular thing, right? I get it. But ever since they turned the lights on this AI image generation thing, those of us that were early adopters, we knew this just from using it, that there were biases in alignment. For instance, if you go onto Midjourney or any of these ones, and you say in there, "Hey, make a picture of a beautiful woman," 90 point such and such % of the time, it'll be a white woman.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you put on there successful, handsome man, 90% of the times, a white guy will generate.
Yeah.
Because in that programming of that thing, the default human is white. Anybody that's used it, they already know it. We already know it. Wasn't a bunch of complaining about it. They'll fix it. Come tune it in. And there's ways around it. Put African American male, Asian male, Asian female. But even with that, if it generates 4 pictures,
still might be a white person.
There, right? Because it's aligned that way, and they'll fix it. They'll dial it in. So a lot of us didn't really complain about it. We just worked our way around it. Ever has this been the way for those of us relegated to minority status in a certain society? Ever has this been the way? It's not until stuff gets super egregious, like, look, man, we can't let you keep doing that. But we'll say something. And then there's a whole thing. Like, for instance, murdering an unarmed man who is not a threat to you, you're a police officer. Now we're going to say something. Now we got to say something. Can't keep doing that.
Right.
Can't keep doing that. And various other things. Not just that, but various other things. We ain't say shit. Google Gemini. Now, Google has been capping for a lot of years now on AI. Every so often, they would release a paper, a research paper. Huh, we did this. We could do this. But they wouldn't release a product because they were gun shy. Can't really say that you blame them. Think about it. They're a big-ass company, and they've made money a certain type of way. It's not easy for them to turn on a dime and adopt something new when this is the thing that pays their thousands of employees and all this other shit. They're not going to do it. They're not just going to flip on it. Microsoft had nothing to lose. Microsoft Explorer was booty cheeks. Everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. That browser's ass. That case in point.
Happy, strong, successful men. 1, 2, 3.
Case in point. Right?
Yeah.
But again, we found ways to work around it.
Yeah.
We did. But Gemini, was it last week? A whole bunch of noise was made because there were people that used their image generation thing, and they put in stuff like German soldier in World War II. And all of a sudden, they were getting images of black guys in Nazi outfits and Asians in Nazi outfits and shit like that. Funny as fuck. There was a level of outrage behind the criticism that I just looked at and went. So what Google did is they fucked up. They overcompensated on one end, and they'll dial it in. They'll get it. At least that's what I thought. But it was a certain level of outrage with certain people like, man, it's too woke. Imagine that. Imagine that. Woke. It's gone woke. You had no criticisms before when the default human was white folks. Nope. That's fine. No, that's fine. No outrage. Like, come on, bro. Why is it always gotta be that? I'm not saying that should just come from us. That should also come from you. Like, yo, why is it always nothing? Mom. Mom's the word. Let's talk about it because y'all know I'm a big proponent of AI. I see it as having the potential to create a society that's post-scarcity. Also, as a creator, unlike a lot of creators I know that are scared and running from this shit, I see the potential usage for my creativity to help me do things more efficiently, to boost my fucking stats when it comes to things that I've only thought about. It'd be nice if I could do that now I can actually do.
Right.
These are great things, right? At least for me. While being aware that it can be misused. I am aware of that. However, you don't make progress running scared. There's plenty of technology and innovations that we've done over the years that had the potential to be misused. We do with this, same thing we do with everything else. We figure it out. But you don't handicap, you don't cut it off at the balls when it has the potential to do the shit. It can do everything from healthcare to just making even if they decide to keep a work week. Imagine you working at a particular job, having this as an efficient thing that makes your day go by smoother.
Right.
Small businesses, like the businesses that we own. Like, this helps us do things that at one point the barrier was capital or manpower or even knowledge. That was the barrier, the gate. Smash the gate. We're talking about a democratizing of skill sets. Where now it's not about whether you can manually do some shit. It's about your idea. What's the idea?
Right.
And I know we have celebrated the manual labor of doing certain skills for years. For years. Why? Because we didn't have any other way to do it. So it became a thing that people took pride in and people celebrated. And the barrier was, if you couldn't do this physically,
oh yeah,
you bought out of this shit. You may have a great idea, better than the ideas of the people that actually can do it. But you don't, for whatever reason, a handicap, whatever, you don't have the aptitude, the manual dexterity, whatever it is, you can't do it. So now you barred from that. Well, that's potentially out the window, because if I can think it, therefore it is. You know what I'm saying? I can do it, right? We could potentially be going in that way. Are we going to have some problems in between that? Absolutely. But this is what I found very, very interesting. And I'm waiting to hear the complaints. Study reveals AI bias towards African American vernacular or dialect in death sentence recommendations. Read the article real quick. Research indicates that artificial intelligence systems show a bias by being more inclined to recommend the death penalty for individuals who communicate in African American English as opposed to standard American English. These findings present real concerns about covert racism in AI. AI systems also seem to favor individuals who do not use AAE when recommending job positions, often assigning less prestigious jobs to AAE speakers. AAE is a dialect commonly used by Black communities in the United States and Canada. The research, awaiting peer review, let's keep that in mind, specifically looks at the subtleties of linguistic racism in AI, focusing on responses by AI to different English dialects, as opposed to the more commonly studied overt racism like reactions to the word Black. Valentine Hoffman, who contributed to the study, told Sky News, language models display more intense negative racial bias triggered by AAE than any previously reported human stereotypes about African Americans. While the AI would describe African Americans in a positive light when directly asked about them, negative stereotypes surface when processing AAE. Hoffman further illustrates how these AI models have deep-seated racism, which is not immediately apparent on the surface, but embedded in the reaction to dialects and language use. Efforts to mitigate AI racism include implementing filters and chatbots to prevent them from uttering offensive language. However, addressing the covert racism activated by sentence structures or slang use proves to be more challenging because AI plays a role in job interviews and candidate screenings. Biases in AI can lead to significant consequences in the real world, including the legal system where it's being considered for use. So I get how annoying it could be to post, to try to get an image of a German soldier and an Asian woman in a Nazi outfit pops up. That can be annoying. This shit here, though, could be life-changing if they don't fix it for huge swaths of people. And I don't see the level of concern about this. Now, to be clear, we need to wait for this study to be peer-reviewed because it could be all full of shit. But what I do know is that initially, from the moment they turned the lights on to it, there's clear bias in the shit.
Yeah.
That needs to be weeded out.
Without question.
So if they occasionally dial it a little bit over on the other side, we should take note of it and go, hey guys, this is wrong, without making this, let's woke. Another word stolen from our community that we were using it for something very positive.
Yeah.
Has been taken and turned into a motherfucking slur now. Cultural. It's expected here, but it's also minimized. Oh, it's no big deal. No big deal. Because anything that concerns certain groups in this country is no big deal. Drug use and abuse was no big deal when
war and drugs
in our community. The only way we made it a big deal is from a criminal aspect, not from a healthcare aspect.
When it was white people, it was the opioid crisis.
When this meth came, woo! What I'm saying is, you can't, on one hand, say, why can't we all just be American? But on the other hand, be dismissive of things that clearly show we're not all treated the same, viewed the same, or valued the same. if you really believe culturally that we should all just be considered American citizens and treated the same way, you should be equally outraged about this shit. I don't be saying that though. I don't be saying that. And it's tiring. And at a certain point, when people like me, like, fuck it. At a certain point, when people like me go, so you know what, man, fuck it. Y'all can have it. Let the baby have its bottle. And at a certain point, then you get people going, well, why are you giving up? 400 years. Not 400 days. Not 400 months. Not 400 weeks. 400 years.
Mm.
I've often heard it said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Do you know after all this time I've heard that? I've never looked up the word insanity in the dictionary to find out if that's the actual definition of the shit.
That's
I've never done it. I've never done it. But if that is the definition, it's some insane shit going on. There's some insanity going on. So maybe some of us is like, all right, I'm tired of chasing the carrot. Y'all cool. It's been real. But I'm gonna have to check out some other culture to see if I can be a person there.
Yeah.
If I can just be a person. If I can just walk in a room and just be me. And if I'm an asshole, they're gonna treat me like I should be treated. Because I'm an asshole. But if I'm not, I'm gonna get that treatment too. I'm gonna be like, yeah, he don't come in here with that boy. Now, okay, it's me. We all get it. I'm an asshole.
I wasn't going to say nothing.
You know what I'm saying? But let me get it because of that. Let me get it from the mud because of that. Because I will also state, I'm an annoying asshole.
Right.
I'm not a malicious asshole.
Facts.
And there are differences. I want to see all y'all do well. Unless you don't want to see me do well. So
right.
Fuck you. Right? I want to see all these communities do good. Do spectacular. Get your shit off. Live well. Unless you don't want to see my community.
Right.
Fuck you. Right? Graydon, to quote Graydon in one of his songs, if it's fuck us, it's fuck you.
Facts.
As long as it's not fuck me, I want to see you eat. Do that. I want to see you get your health care. I want to see you get your education. I want to see you make money. And I don't want to see anybody mistreat you.
Right.
I don't want to see a system mistreat you. But if you can't see how the system is fucking over some of us, and when we bring it up, it's guys are how at the moment the least little thing happened over there, it's a crisis. That's a choice.
Oh, yeah.
That's a choice to see it that way. It just is. So I want to, some of us, just rather go check out another culture. See if we can get it there. 400 years, it kind of seems like, really happening. Unless you say it with a straight face, give it another 400. Give it another 400. Yeah,
Yo.
And hey, I'm not gonna be gone, right? The internet. I'm talking to motherfuckers in Russia. All right? Like, it's the internet. But I won't be here to be made to subject to the shit.
Right.
I had a friend of mine that left permanently. I really don't keep up on much U.S. news.
Right.
Occasional thing, if it's big enough to break through the local stuff that we got going on over here, then sure. But I want that love.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say, somebody hit me up from here, like, yo, what's up? What's going on? You know what's up? No, I didn't. That's crazy. But as is now, because sometimes my very survival or financial stability relies on me knowing I got to. I'm paying way too much attention to this shit. I got 80-year-old motherfuckers running around here talking about TikTok. Excuse me, tic-tac-toe. And that with Nancy. And that with Nancy, it's called a tic-tac-toe. They don't know shit. Why you gonna keep letting these? I'm really trying not to be ageist, but this video that SBJ sent me this week really triggered the fuck out of me.
Bruh.
And it's not like I didn't know the shit, but when you start really digging into how many 80-year-olds are running our country, trying to make decisions about like modern decisions, when they come from a bygone era, they don't understand shit about none of this. And there's no excuse in my mind other than the deterioration of the brain, because it happens. Entropy comes for all of us.
Right.
And no, it's not every single old person. I get classes up. My grandfather was sharp until a few days before he died. Super sharp. That ain't everybody. But when you clearly can see signs of deterioration and decay, the fact that we don't take that seriously is kind of crazy to me, especially since y'all keep hitting me in the head with incrementalism. We say, yo, here are the facts on the ground. Here are the material conditions right here. They're kind of fucked. But we have a solution that can help everybody. If we just do this, require this thing, just say it requires some tech or some innovation, right? And then all of the people under a certain age going, we got a solution, y'all. And we got some doddering old 80-year-olds running around going, now, wait a minute now. We got to get the, well, wait a minute. What key is it? You got to hit to do that. Maybe you're not the best person to make this decision right here. And the other thing is, so many of you, so many of you up there that's that age.
Yo, it was like 7 people in that video.
They counted off 7. They counted off 7 people over 80. Here's the thing.
One of them was 90.
One of them was not. Here's the thing, right? So if you want to say 80 is extreme, right? 10. Because if he pointed out 7 motherfuckers in there that's over 80, trust me, it's many dozens of them up there that are in 70 range, right?
Right.
And that too, a lot of times, is a choice.
Yeah.
I know I come off as the young chippy, but in 5 years I'll be 60. In 5 years I'll be 60 years old.
Right.
And I endeavor to keep in tune with the new tech, the new ways of doing things, all of that shit. It's a choice. Barring any mental degradation that prevents you physically from being able to figure this shit out.
Right.
It's a choice to disconnect and be detached. You're making a choice based, a lot of times, and I know because I've talked to them, they're making a choice based on these silly kids. Your perception of these younger people has you fucked up because you are attributing all of this shit to this is their excuse you, you're still living here.
Right.
I hate that something SBJ said a while ago about motherfuckers talking about, oh yeah, if you're not from this generation, you don't know about going outside Saturday morning. I'm still alive doing this. If you're still here and you haven't mentally degraded and you're 70, 80 plus, there is no excuse to not learn how to do the things that people are using commonly now. I get if it never is something that doesn't affect your life in any way. Where your constant existence does not even cross the path of that. That's different. We're not talking about that. But a lot of the shit that we talk about is simple as going to the goddamn supermarket and knowing how to use the self-checkout.
Right.
We talking about shit like my daughter works at a market. The stories she tells me. Motherfuckers walking in there going, why don't the AI do that? My daughter's like, it's not AI. What is wrong with you?
Buzzwords.
Buzzwords without any understanding of the shit. The Disco said, don't worry, Toon. Elon's going to make sure all the ones that don't already know can just get uploaded. What, in their head? With that little thing he's putting in everybody's head? No thanks. Look, I'm not going to be an early adopter to that. I'm going to wait and see how it turns out for everybody else first.
Nigga.
I'm just going to wait and see. Because if, oh shit, I just thought of something. What if he had it put in his head? Wouldn't that explain?
Oh my God, I hate you so much.
Wouldn't that explain? Listen, I don't care what nobody say. That little presentation he did up there on that stage one time, where he was running around going, they can go fuck themselves. With his mouth like that. They can go fuck themselves. That wasn't a glitch. That wasn't a glitch, y'all. That wasn't a glitch. You know, before he started talking, and it was just PR that we saw, he seemed a lot smarter.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Even in the pictures, he's standing there with the faraway 1,000-yard stare, like he's looking into the future. I'm a futurist. Had y'all motherfuckers running around here thinking he was Tony Stark.
Right.
Then he started talking. Oh, really? That's what you think? That's interesting. And then it went from that's interesting to what the fuck is he going on about? He ain't got the chip in his head. He ain't tried. I think there's some glitching going on there. But be that as it may, the one thing I can say about Mr. Musk, I don't see him as being is going to end up being an 8-year-old that doesn't understand tech.
Sure.
I don't see that. I don't see that because it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a fucking choice. Come on, man. Y'all got to step y'all weight up with that. Seriously. And by that, I'm talking about not just the technology and the innovation, by allowing these motherfuckers to stay in power and make decisions when time has passed them by. When instead of using a lighter, they're rubbing sticks together.
Mm-hmm.
When a lot of Congress has done quite a bit of conversations with the AI corporations and stuff that's developing this, and they sound stupid. If you watch any of the footage or clips, from those conversations, they're stupid. They don't know anything about this shit for real.
Correct.
Except for what they saw on TV or in a movie. And they're asking the dumbest questions. I don't know how they're going to get anything done. And by the way, if you want to know the biggest obstacle to having a fully integrated, safe AI technology to improve our lives, it's them. Number 2 is y'all fear.
Well,
That's number 2. I watched a Matt Wolf channel. Who that channel's blown up. It's like 500,000 followers now, and he was one of the early adopters on YouTube to talk about AI news.
Mm-hmm.
He even got up to 500,000. He's doing really well. He went to a convention, a tech convention, and he videoed part of it. When they started talking about AI, the crowd started booing. How are you at a tech convention booing AI? The fact that you spent the money, you obviously are tech savvy. Why are you going there booing it? Now, in their defense, some of the wording in this video could have been a lot better. Like, on retrospect, probably not a good idea to mention job losses and then basically tell people to get over it.
Right.
That's not how to handle this shit. I'm just going to speculate. That's not how to handle this.
Right.
They're doing something wrong, and so are we as the public. We're doing something wrong too, because we're pushing towards the fear aspect of it, with knowing that there's not a single technology that's ever been developed that we somehow stopped. There's not one, no matter what your fears were, there's not one. So the people we should be going at, as hard as we're going at the developers of AI, are your politicians, because there's certain infrastructure that's going to have to be put in place to protect the people. And I don't see any of you doing that. And instead, what I see is you fussing on social media and booing shit. I hate to quote President Obama, but don't boo. Do something.
Right.
Do something. Because that, if you let them make all the decisions for this shit here, you're going to find yourself in a bad way. In a real bad way. Really soon. This ain't just speculation anymore. Saw a robot they released the other day. Company called Figure, or Figures, maybe with an S, teamed up with OpenAI. This robot is crazy, and it's being like, basically it's using the LLMs. Could be GPT-4 or it could be GPT-5. I don't know, or 4.5 or Turbo. I don't know, but it's using that, and that motherfucker is moving all manually. The shit that I'm seeing it do. I used to work at the Rite Aid warehouse in Aberdeen, Maryland. I was a picker. You know what a picker is? Picker is somebody that goes into this warehouse, which is humongous, and they're back there with the shelves, and there are a certain amount of a certain product that needs to be put in totes as they go down a conveyor belt. So when a wave of a certain shit comes through, it's a whole bunch of totes coming down. You got to go into the boxes, pick the shit out, put it in the totes as they come through. Bam, bam, bam. When the shit light up, the product lights up on the shelf, that's what you grab. Bam, bam, bam. What I saw with this robot can replace all you motherfuckers. That's easy. That's nothing to what this thing, what I saw it doing, cleaning up trash while answering a question from the dude. True multitasking, by the way. Not what we do. Now that shit that we call multitasking. True multitasking.
Right.
Could see, could hear, could even reason. Gonna replace your ass. And you sitting there fussing, I'm scared, he taking our order away. You doing that shit. That ain't even the problem, B. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You better say something. And you better demand they say something. But I gotta tell you, the motherfuckers you got up there now, these 80-year-olds, they look at you like they're toddlers. They're not gonna take you serious at all. Get the fuck out of there.
Thanks.
Term limits. And the reason why we haven't had them widespread is because the people that it would disadvantage is them. So they say no. They told your ass no. You outnumber them, and they told you no. They told you no. Your tax money pays them, and they told you no. No term limits. Fuck y'all. Do something. By the way, Super Bowl's on. Go watch that. Netflix just released a whole bunch of new shit. Go watch that. You distracted serfs. We'll take care of this. You guys just worry about the things that really matter. Like the new tennis shoes that came out. You won't worry about that shit. We'll handle this. That makes me sick. And ironically, one of the most technologically advanced places on the planet is here in the United States. They're going to be the slowest to integrate this shit. I promise you. It's going to be the other countries, the developing nations that's on the cusp where this can boost their shit, like almost immediately, right? They're going to embrace it and integrate it. They got less systems of their government, less people to get permission from. They're going to integrate that shit a lot quicker. This is going to be like Google. That's like the giant. Imagine a example I used with Graydon. I talked to Graydon the other day is imagine a tank the size of the Titanic, and you trying to get this motherfucker to turn to do a 180. That shit gonna take a long time.
Thanks.
That's this place. This place. Yo, Discord is wilding. Said them Trump kicks. Distraction. Just distraction. Weapons of mass distraction. That's all it is. Hey, look at these kicks, y'all. I'm almost 80, but don't worry about that. Look at these kicks. I be saying the dumbest shit ever in these motherfucking rallies, but look at the kicks. Golden kicks. Golden shoes, golden calf. I'm gonna let y'all figure it out. Y'all do what y'all do. Y'all do what y'all do with that. I'll do what y'all do with that. I'm gonna let y'all figure that out. You fucking mooks. Get the fuck out of here. And that's my goddamn week. Fuck that.
Oh,
fuck that.
Oh,
fuck
okay.
That.
All right, wait.
I'm mad.
Okay, all right. I got it. I understand. Bo Flex.
What's up, partner?
All right.
And I heard about that too, Bo Flex. I did.
So
keep going. I can hear you.
I realized, like I said before, I realized that I pretty much had an update for everything I talked about last week. So originally, before I started that Rotten Tomato score for that dumbass movie, it was just gonna be just like last week. But also, this is my last episode until April. I told y'all I'm in the middle of the process of moving. We should be actually moving our stuff on the 30th, which is a Saturday. So over the next 2 weeks, leading up to that, I'll be getting ready, actually like physically getting all the stuff ready. Studio will be broken down sometime between now and next Saturday. Like I got a lot to do. Like these, I gotta take all of my paneling down, and I don't know which one is going to be harder. I don't know if it's going to be harder to take down the old style paneling because of the adhesive that I use. Like this is literally as far as I can pull this without ripping the paneling. And the paneling, if you've ever felt it, it's kind of tear resistant. So it's kind of hard to tear. So that's going to be a project in and of itself. But with these, I used tape. So we don't have that problem. But the tape is dumb strong. So I can't really, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to end up doing the whole hair dryer thing because, the adhesive heat loosens that whole thing. So, but that's going to take so long. So anyway, say I got a lot to do. So yes, I thought about that. Nigga, I don't care about the wall getting fucked up too. Absolutely. No, the tape and the adhesive are both going to do damage. But yes, I'm absolutely going to try the oil too. Yeah, I saw that in my Googles. So yeah, some combination of the hair dryer and the oil, and we're gonna put the work in. And my point is there's a lot of work to do, so it really wouldn't make sense for me to try to do the show next week as well, and also go to work and also do the other stuff that is necessary for the move and all that. So yeah, the team will keep y'all posted about how the show for those 2 weeks will go. I plan to have, I absolutely should have the studio operational in the new place by that next Saturday. Even if it's not completely set up, it'll be operational enough for me to do the show. So like I said, most of the stuff is just updates from from last week. I talked about that dumbass sign on that cooler in the Walgreens talking about don't open, but y'all got product in there still. Like, why the fuck didn't you just take the product out when you realized that it was broken instead of putting some type of strap on it so that people would have to struggle to open it? Why not take the product out and put it in another cooler? Y'all got space. But anyway, that shit still broke. So it still has the same sign on it. back to this moving stuff. Side note, I don't know if this qualifies for dumbass of the week or not, but it's loosely related to the moving thing. Kind of related to my situation. Someone else, coworker, newly rehired, so used to work for us, stopped. I don't know why. I doubt they were fired. I think they just left, and now they're back. They also live with us. Owes the company like $3,300, but he's adamant that he should be getting the discount. No, simply no. This is the reason the company started making it mandatory that employees sign up for payroll deductions if they live with us. Like, that wasn't always the policy. Matter of fact, when I first started living with the company, that was not the policy. But eventually they kept coming into the situation where they kept seeing people. It wasn't even an option. I'm sorry. Not only was it not the policy, it wasn't even an option for payroll deductions. And eventually they noticed the trend where a lot of employees were behind on their rent. So what they did was everybody that fit into the category of being habitually behind on their rent, they made them, if you're going to continue to accept this discount, you're going to sign this paper for payroll deductions. And then that was the case moving forward. But if you were already a tenant and you weren't behind on your rent, you had the option to continue to keep the discount without having a payroll deduction. I just went with the payroll deduction because it's so much easier. Like, outside of the situation where like there are massive changes to my income, so raise time or like moving to another unit, more expensive unit. Outside of those situations, I don't even realize that the money is coming out of my check because I'm used to it at this point. Like, when ironically, going from this unit to the unit I'm going to, what up, Cosmic? Going from this unit to the unit I'm going to, the amount coming out of my check is going to almost double. The funny thing about it is I'm going to end up paying less, but that's not important. The point I'm making is when I first found out that the amount was going to double, I was freaking out. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what? This is going to be crazy. It's going to be kind of tight. And I realized, no, that amount is not about to be taken out from what I get, from what I net currently. No, only half of the amount is going to be taken out from what I net currently because I forgot about the money that's already automatically taken out. So like I said, I don't ever really think about it. I don't ever see it except for like every 5th Friday, and this month has 5 Fridays. Every time there's a 5th Friday, they don't take out rent, they don't take out retirement, and they don't take out insurance. So that check is always like a massive check. So anyway, that was the reason that the rule was implemented in the first place, is because people were owing the company money. And he's like, well, if I'm going to work here, I should be getting my discount. No, sir, that's not how that works. It's not how that works. But anyway, and like I said, they would remove your discount if you were in that situation prior to the payroll deduction being a thing. They would, you can't get the discount if you were so far behind. Like, I feel like if you owe $3,000, yeah, they're gonna take your fucking discount. What do you mean? Clearly, you're not taking advantage of it.
Right.
So anyway, last week I mentioned that I told the lady at my new rental office that I would pay our moving costs early this week. Nope, didn't happen. So Debbie came back this week, which is an overall amazing thing. There was so much shit that was going wrong because she wasn't there. Not just with my application. I'm talking about like company wide. There was a bunch of shit that wasn't happening the way it was supposed to happen because she wasn't there. But anyway,
But she get paid.
I mean, that's what I told her. Anyway, I was leaving the downtown office Tuesday, and I called my future rental office, and I'm like, "How much money do I need so I can go ahead and pay this shit?"
Right.
She tells me. I'm like, "All right, cool." I get off the phone with her. I leave. About 30 minutes later, she calls me. About 40 minutes later, she calls me and says, "No, hey, don't get the money order yet." I'm like, "What's going on?" She says, "I don't know how much you owe because they started taking money out of your checks for the new unit already."
Oh.
No, not no damn O. I tried to explain to her when she said that, like, nigga, we know this already. We talked about this already.
Yeah,
this has already been established. And she wasn't hearing that. She's like, no, don't do anything. I gotta call Debbie. So she talked to Debbie, and
I'm on my Jon Stewart shit right now.
Shut up. She talked to Debbie, and after she talked to Debbie, Debbie calls me, and she's like, you know that they started taking the money, the new money out of you. I said, yes. First of all, how much money do y'all think I make that I wouldn't notice?
I know, right? They think they're paying you too much.
Hundreds more. Like, what? How much money do you think I make? Like, that I wouldn't notice it at all? Nigga, what are you talking about?
They feel like they're paying you too much.
Well,
it's too late.
Neither one of them has any control over how much money I make. So, but I'm just saying, like, how much money do you think I make that I wouldn't realize? Also,
millions,
right? Also, it's something I had to sign before it went into effect. What are we talking about? So, I let her know, like, yeah, I already knew that. Like, I knew that, and so did the person who called you, because I said it to them.
Oh,
when they sent me the goddamn, when they sent Chrissy the goddamn acceptance letter with the wrong numbers on it.
Right. I remember.
And I talked to her and explained to her that those numbers were wrong because of X, Y, and Z. This was X.
What was Y and Z?
Well, that my security deposit was being fucking transferred, and that I am an employee.
So hold up. The question is, how do you determine which one will be X, which one will be Y, which one will be Z?
Well, I just went with the level of obviousness.
Oh,
like the whole thing about she would have no idea that I signed that paper. All right, so that's the least obvious. All right, that's X.
That's true.
You should know, but maybe not yet, that I got my deposit transferred. So a little less, a little more obvious. And you fucking absolutely know that I work here. So, okay, but anyway.
Is the same one that gave you shit about your ID?
Oh, yeah. So all of this has been the same person. All of this has been the same person. So, and
it seems like you're having a great time.
Actually, like I said, it has only been an issue because I don't want to be that person that's going to be going over her head. Yeah, that's the only reason it's been an issue, and it hasn't really affected. Like,
I get it.
Really affected anything. It's just slightly annoying and consistently annoying that it's the same person having these issues.
Right.
So after that exchange with Debbie, I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, she should be calling you soon. I said, okay. 3 hours passed. I called Debbie back because the other lady ain't called me yet.
Mm-hmm.
Debbie tells me that everything was good and she had long ago told her that, and she had no idea why she didn't call me yet. So I end up at the office. This woman just now, for the first time, in all these conversations that we've been having, tells me she can't accept the money until both Chrissy and I have signed.
No,
what we
yo.
need to sign. First time she's mentioned it.
No.
First time she's mentioned it. Big Mike.
Oh shit.
First-
Mike Gleason.
First time she's mentioned it. Never even hinted at it before. So at that point, I made a decision. I no longer aim to keep this balance. If she dies, she dies. The next day, I talked to the guy who I would be talking to go over her head about something separate. It was actually that's in here too, but about something separate. And then at the end of the conversation, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to move." He was like, "Yeah, I know where you about to move." I said, "I'm preparing you now. I'll be in your office." So after that, I started to feel a little bit bad. But Chrissy went.
Yo.
Wait. Chrissy went in there. So the rule is whoever signs last, whenever the last person signs is when the payment is due. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't necessary for us to go together, even though we tried. It didn't really work out that way. So I told Chrissy, like, go, you go Thursday, and I'll finish everything up Friday. So Chrissy went in there to sign because, like I said, the last person that signed pays. I told her when she went there to figure out how much we had to give them.
Right.
They still gave her the wrong number. So I've tried the nice route.
Wait a minute, was it more or less?
Yes, it was more. No, it was in actuality, I had to pay less than the number that they said.
Right.
But they still are saying the wrong number. So I tried the nice route. I was getting the response. I was not getting the response that I deserved as an employee, a tenant, and future tenant. So it's now as the young
warrior and king.
Well, it is now, as the young folks say, up. I'm still gonna follow. I'm still gonna follow proper protocol initially, but I will not. The moment she's unresponsive, I will not hesitate.
Pull the trigger.
Holler at my man's downtown.
Pull the fucking trigger. Listen, bro.
Hey, listen. At this point,
one of the things I like about you,
it gets worse.
Is
but
that
go ahead.
You can. One thing I like about you is you can be ass. You can be ass. But that ain't always your go-to.
Nah, yo.
It's not always your go-to.
I'm good with grace. Mercy is not my strong point. I'm sorry, I can't really help you. But grace, I'm really good at extending grace to people. It's just
yo, Discord is stupid. He said it's up. What the jig? Jig is up. Listen, but if it was anything that I would tweak with you, is show the hammer. You ain't gotta use it. Show it. Just show it.
Listen.
Show it.
Listen.
It's a deterrent.
It is. It can be. It depends on the person. Because some people, because here's the thing, I've talked about this before. I've run into instances where people don't even after a slight display, don't fully understand the power that I wield indirectly. Because again, I ain't got no power.
The sun and the power.
Yeah, I'm simply a herald. I ain't got no actual power myself. Right. It's somebody else's power. However, I do have access to it.
Bro, Silver Surfer is just a herald.
Right.
And he'll still beat that ass.
No, facts. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like the things that are great about Silver Surfer outside of Galactus's power, that's that's equivalent to my attitude about things.
Got you.
The Galactus power is where it's coming in and it's effective without me getting in trouble.
The power cosmic. Yeah, it's true.
So
this sounds like you might be in the carpentry.
and again, I was like, should I? And then I went there. I had got my money order from my bank. I went in there with the money order, and she still pretty much messed up that entire process.
Yo.
It got to the point where I was telling her how the process is supposed to go. So my mind's now been made up.
Come up and
My mind has now been made up, and it is what it is. So next, this whole looking for a new software thing. Remember the guy who was randomly cold calling my fellow coworkers and cold emailing random?
The salesman.
I got an email from him.
He was like, "Why you been ignoring my call?"
No,
I won't just be ignored.
you stupid. This motherfucker. Hi, James. I fully understand you've put the brakes on evaluating software platforms, but I'd still love to catch up with you in person and treat you to lunch. Are you available Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday next week?
See,
I haven't been to Maryland since I was 8 years old, so I desperately need some assistance finding a great seafood spot. Let me know if you can join me for lunch or happy hour.
Stop fucking playing with me. You know what this is? You know what this is? This is when the motherfuckers hit your phone, text you, knowing it's some spam shit, and start talking about, "Hey, I ain't seen you in a while. Did you move?" Fuck you and fuck off. Right?
Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, first of all, what the fuck you mean catch up? I don't know you. I've had one conversation with you for like 7 minutes.
Yo, take them down to the sandlot.
Right. Like, I don't fucking know you. Like, what are you? I have no desire. See, you have no awareness. Clearly, if you could extrapolate anything from our previous interactions, it's that I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
Whether that's because I don't like talking on the phone, which is true. Whether that's because I don't like the way that you try to sell, which is true. Or whether it's that we have no interest in your particular product because we don't think it's going to help us, which is also true.
Yeah.
Like, I have no desire. So I showed it to my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, and my boss, and they both got a big laugh out of it.
Well,
like,
because you know what's going
hey,
on.
listen, I can't remember which one. One of them was like, you going to take the free lunch?
Free lunch.
No, I'm not going to meet you for no fucking
free lunch.
Yes, Discord, absolutely.
You got to pay for what you ate.
No, hold up, Mike. I'm still a fat kid, and
thanks.
I love seafood.
He said, and he did say seafood.
To a certain
We
degree.
from Maryland.
It's different here. I'm still not. I'm still not. I don't like you. No, here's the thing. Before I didn't care to talk to you.
Now I just don't.
Now after all the shit that you pulled, I don't like you.
Nah, that's facts.
I dislike you.
Facts.
So yeah, I'm not sitting down with you to eat.
And the other thing is, like, it's disingenuous. So
Right.
the whole.
I haven't been to Maryland in 8 years.
I don't give a. This ain't no tourist place. This
Right.
ain't no tourist place.
No,
Listen, I'm gonna let all of you know. Like, me and this guy, we have been all over Maryland. We 2 summers, 2 summers at least. We're all over Maryland. This ain't no tourist place. So you telling me I ain't been to Maryland since? I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
Not a single
and I don't want to talk to you. And also, if I want to go get some seafood, I'm already here.
Right.
I don't need none of that.
Why do I need to wait for you? Right. Why do I need to wait for you?
She treating me.
That's
a tactic, bro. That's a tactic.
Actually, I was about to say quiet as it's kept, but not even quiet. That's Chrissy's favorite food is seafood. So, nigga, like, what do you? And again, as you said, I live in Maryland. It's seafood. I can't throw a rock without hitting some place that sells seafood.
Yo, crabs and some shit. You ride down the street. Now.
In this one concentrated area of Baltimore, there are like 7 crab places on the strip. Like, what are you talking about?
He said, I'm salty enough without you buying me seafood. Listen. Yo.
No, hold up, Mike. That's different. Former bosses, I might feel like you owe me something and I'm getting it back in seafood.
Facts.
That's different. That I would probably do.
Although it does depend on the boss, because there's at least two I can think of that they don't set up some sort of event when it's just me and you there, and I no longer work there, because it was shit I wanted to do to you, but your hands were literally on my check.
Right.
But now I'm not. I don't work there no more. I've already had incidents with at least two former bosses that didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. They saw me in the street after I no longer worked there, and then try to talk to me like we old chums, like I'm fucking Adam West and that goddamn Burt Ward from the old Batman show and shit. Old chum, nah, nigga, fuck out my feet. Yo, I wilded at least two of them out on the street. Like, I don't know you, bitch ass nigga. And what? I kept walking.
Yo, thanks though.
Nigga try to play you when you work there and shit.
Fortunately, I don't have enough ex-bosses.
That's true.
To really have, all of my ex-bosses.
So when either one of us get the bag, or both at the same time get the bag, if you see them, you're gonna have pleasantries for them.
Yeah. Right? Slight pleasantries. Actually, no, there's not a single one of them that I dislike.
Right.
There's one I'm not fond of, but I don't dislike him. So no, there's not a single one I'm not. So yeah, pleasantries.
There's probably three of them that if I see him, we gonna be cool. Like one dude, Tony, Gerald. I hope Gerald ain't passed away because Gerald was older than me then. It's been a lot of years since I've seen him. Gerald, and of course you already know one Calvin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You already know one Calvin, but the rest of them motherfuckers, nah, slap shit out shit. Don't say nothing to me. Act like you don't know me.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
So hey, yo, they about to get ice cream, yo.
What? Oh, come on, Mike. Why would you say that? Why would you say such a thing? You could have just said, "I'll be right back."
Yeah, see, man, that's what I be talking.
You could have just said, "I'll be right back." It would have been
your own. It'd be your own people, yo.
Crazy, you know.
Your own people.
So back to the company we're actually in talks with. We had our next meeting with him.
You mean the ones you take seriously? Yeah, got you.
Well, the company itself, yes. Yes, the company itself. We had our next meeting with him. Have I mentioned how much I hate him? So
you may have.
It started. The meeting started off annoying. Like a little background first. So whenever we have a meeting at my company with an outside entity, we generally go into our big conference room. There's a big screen TV in there where I can connect the laptop, and we use that so everybody in the room can see because it's a big screen TV. Zoom also has it so that you can call in for people who don't have access to a computer, or I guess people who just don't want to use one. We have one of those conference style speakerphones in that conference room. So we call in so we can do the audio so everybody will be able to be heard, and we use the TV for the video. That's how we've always done since we got that TV, which was pre-pandemic. That's how we've always done these meetings with people outside of the company. So this week's meeting was our fifth.
Question.
I'll say
question. Question. Did you set all that up?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm the IT guy. So this week's meeting was, I want to say, our sixth meeting with this particular company. For all of the previous meetings, we've done them the exact way that I outlined above.
Right.
I'm setting up for the meeting. I go to sign in to Zoom. I always do the TV first, and then I do the phone. I get the TV up and running. I go back to the invite email to find the phone number. Right. There is no phone number.
Oh.
I type in the chat of the Zoom meeting that there was not a phone number. He types back in the Zoom meeting, quote, "You can't get into the meeting?"
Well, can't you?
Sir, I'm typing to you and you're responding to me in the meeting. I look back. at one of our old meeting invites, and I found the number.
Okay.
Called the number, and I gave the current meeting's ID. I got the response that, quote, this meeting does not allow call-ins. Eventually, he got the fucking hint and finally started a new meeting and sent the new invite. Sir, this is the 6th fucking meeting that we've had. It's the 6th, and for all of them, you set up the meeting.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you set this one up any differently than any of the other ones that you've set up? What sense does that make? What is, anyway?
You're not here to make sense.
Bruh, clearly. So I've had that demo. I've had the free trial version of their software for a little while because, we were trying to look at it and see if it would work for us. Our meeting last week, well, it's pretty decent. Our meeting last week was mainly about the free trial. Basically, I was looking to see if that particular part of their software worked for us. There was one part that wasn't a deal breaker at all, not even close to a deal breaker. It just seemed a bit inconsistent to the other function of the program. And I brought it up in the meeting because, again, not a deal breaker at all, just would be nice to have. So I said to him, it was like automatic. They have this thing where they do automatic emails, and there was not an automatic email once I approved the person's application. So I'm like, this didn't happen. What is going on? Because you have automatic emails. I don't see a way that I can add to it, and I don't see this particular email. So what's up? He assured me, defiantly so, that it did exist.
First
right.
flag.
That it did exist. And that it was probably just he said, oh no, I'm pretty sure we have that. This is how it went. I said, I couldn't find it. It didn't work. He said, I'm pretty sure that we have that functionality. I said, well, no, I went through and I went through and I did the application and I approved the application and it did not send an email. Oh no, I'm sure.
Man, no,
I'm sure that that the program does that. It might just be a limitation of the free trial.
Interesting.
Okay, that's possible. All right, cool. In this meeting, he's like, "Oh, so I looked at the automatic email thing, and no, we don't do that." Huh? Interesting. Almost as if I actually tried it before I just said some random shit out my mouth. Like, what the fuck are we? Anyway, don't fucking incorrect me. But anyway,
I hate when somebody does that. Don't fucking incorrect me, man.
So in this meeting, also, he was back to doing all the annoying things. I thought he had got it out of his system since the last meeting went so well. Nope, he was still in full sell mode. We don't need you to sell us. We know what we want. We know what we need. We ran into an issue that he didn't have an immediate answer to, and he drifted right back into sales mode. Well, without this, wouldn't it still be better than the process that you're currently doing?
I hate it.
Oh, well, did our competitor that you spoke with have this feature that you're asking for? What the fuck? Do either of those things have to do with you not having the feature?
Right.
Do you have the feature or not? You don't know. So leave it at, I don't know. I need to find out. I'll get back to you. That's it.
That's really all it is, bro.
That's it. So, like I said, we know how our current system works. We know the advantages and disadvantages of our current system. Also, we ultimately turned down your competitor. Right. We have no interest in your market research efforts for your competitor. That's not what we're here for. We're not here to spy on your competitor for you.
Yeah. We don't care. We don't care all that much.
No. Then again, 10 minutes after the meeting, this motherfucker called me. I was at lunch, so I didn't see it. When I got back to my desk, I see a missed call from him. He left a voicemail asking me to call him back, and he sent me an email asking me to call him back. Here's the problem with that. There are the obvious points that I kind of alluded to this earlier. There are the obvious points that we literally were just in an hour-long meeting. We literally. Also, since we were in that hour-long meeting, you should have asked whatever the fucking questions you had when we were in that meeting. Okay, but also, I hate being on the phone. Also, if you can send me a message telling me to call you back, you can just ask the question.
He's really endearing himself to you.
Bruh, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, yo, I strongly... He's not as bad as the other people. Okay. But, nigga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just checked. So, I said to him, let me see. Let me read this. I responded to this message. So I called him, and then after I called him, he didn't answer. So I sent this email. Hi, I returned your call, but I missed you. You can ask the question here via email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. That was Wednesday afternoon. I have not heard back from him.
Yeah, that's not right.
Because this is a sales tactic that he's trying to employ. He's trying to curry my favor. He doesn't understand that he's doing the exact opposite by insisting that we be on the fucking phone.
That you don't have any favor to do. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. I get right. They deal with a lot of people. And these tactics are guidance. But after you've talked to me for a minute or whatever, it might be time to view me as a real person.
Bruh, awareness matters.
You know what I'm saying?
Have some awareness and realize that this isn't the person that this is going to work for.
That's all.
That's it. It's really not that hard of a concept.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
So there's another issue. He doesn't comprehend too well. Anytime we say something that he doesn't quite understand, he tries to repeat it back to us, which I understand. Like, I get that because, like, you want to make sure you understand before you try to answer a question that we ain't fucking asked you. I get that. I understand that. But about 30% of the time, he gets it dead wrong. Like, dead wrong. Also, he keeps misunderstanding things and running with them. Like, my boss expressed in our previous meeting, my boss expressed that she wanted to go over some specific things in this meeting, and he misinterpreted that, so he wasn't prepared to do that. And then when we pointed that out, he just kept repeating, "Oh, okay, it must have been a miscommunication. I thought that we were such and such and such."
No,
hey, but
on your part, on your part.
Right. Yeah. So, but okay, that's not the case though. Yeah, well, I thought, shut the fuck up.
Yo,
we aren't concerned with what you thought at this point.
I was about to say,
it's already been established.
You think, motherfucker.
Bruh, it's already been established that what we expected is not what's going to happen. Okay, cool. Let's move forward.
Right.
Especially because you're not apologizing. Like, if you were repeating yourself and apologizing, that would be one thing. Still annoying. but it would have some value to us.
Right.
It does not have any value. We don't
show some
value.
good faith.
Right. We don't get value from, and to be clear, he did apologize at some point. It's just that, right. It is of no value to us for you to explain to us that there was a misunderstanding on your part after it's abundantly clear that there was a misunderstanding on your part.
There's a misunderstanding. Yeah, we've already established that.
You're just wasting our time at this point. So anyway.
Calm down, Corky.
Bruh, you almost have to treat him like a child and do all of your communication through email so that there will be an official record of what was said.
Right.
Right. So anyway, next thing. So at the end of the prior week, this lady came up to our department to talk to me and my supervisor, who's not my supervisor. She is inheriting some parts of a person's job who is retiring. One of these duties is to order new postage machines for the jobs because we're in the process. Shut the hell up. Because we're in the process of updating our postage machines throughout the company. Like 3 or 4 of them has already been done. There's like 6 that need. maybe like 5 that still need to be done. So it's her responsibility now. She asked what she has to do to get them set up because they're different than the old ones. That's the reason we're updating. We told her all she has to do is let me know what they will that they will be delivered, what job they'll be delivered to, when they're going to be delivered, and I'll go out and set them up.
Yo, when you say that, when you say all they have to do, I already know it's some bullshit.
Because you already know. So again, that was like the previous Thursday or Friday.
Right.
Wednesday comes. I get a call from one of the jobs. It's the guy that I was talking about earlier that I had the conversation. It was him.
Okay.
He is asking me to help him set up a postage machine.
Okay.
I told him no.
Kick rocks, loser.
I said, leave it alone. I'll be there tomorrow. So he gets downtown later that day, and I ran into him. So what happened is the lady who talked to me and my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, and asked us what she needed to do, and we told her all she had to do was call me and let me know.
Right.
She decided that she was going to call him and ask him to go set up the machine.
Wait. That wasn't the instruction.
No, it was not.
I don't know what to say.
I can't
follow.
Yo, I can't
instructions, bro.
I can't make this shit up.
But she was told, like, it's one thing if
not just that she was told. She asked. She seeked counsel. And she got that counsel. From 2 of the people in the IT department. The 2 people in the company most likely to help you with your issue if you have a tech issue. The 2 people in the company most qualified to help you if you have an issue with your technology. And she decided, I'm going to call this motherfucker who's not in the IT department and has no experience with technology. And that's what he said when he called me. He's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know why she called me. I said, you know what? Stop what you're doing.
Because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you use.
I said, stop what you're doing. Leave it where it is. This is not your responsibility.
This is not your hell.
No. I will be out there tomorrow and I will fix it. So yeah, bro. Like, what do you bruh, the annoyance. In the moment, the rage.
Yeah.
The rage.
In the moment she was like, don't make me angry.
Bruh.
You wouldn't like me.
Bruh. So this last thing, I didn't mean to make this last because it's kind of a downer a little bit. But there's a story with it, so it doesn't hold down there. One of my former coworkers passed. Another one of my former coworkers. That's like 3 this year or 4. Yeah, something like that. Well, so we weren't incredibly close. Actually, toward the end of her tenure at the company, I'm pretty sure she started to not like me. But here's the thing. So when I met her, I was like 17, and she was mean to me. Like, I'm pretty sure she didn't like black people. But she was mean to me when I was 17 and I first met her. But once I applied for my current position, for some reason, her and her boyfriend, who was another former coworker, came over my mother's house. If I remember correctly, it was my stepfather's attempt, because my stepfather used to work at the property that she was working at when I met her. So they knew each other. And the other guy was tech savvy. He wasn't IT, but he was tech savvy. So I guess this was my stepfather's way of trying to prepare me and give me a gauge of what I was about to get into, to have them come talk to me. So ever since that day, she was nice to me until close to when she got fired. Her guy friend was always cool up until he retired. We have a rule in our company, and the reason that it's in quotes is because it's a stupid rule that doesn't make any sense and nobody takes seriously. So the rule is about fraternizing, the implication being romantically and sexually, but that's not what's stated. It just says fraternizing. So no fraternizing with coworkers or tenants. Now, it might be literally, with no exaggeration, the most impossible rule to follow that I've never seen anybody get in trouble for.
Right.
Because, first of all,
Because
if we're
mind your
using the
business.
dictionary, well, no, not even that. Like, we ain't even there. First of all, if we use the dictionary definition of fraternization, we've already failed from the jump. We are a family company. By that, I mean the normal implication as well as nepotism. I've talked about this several times. No lie. Before I started working in the department that I work in now, I already had some type of working relationship with a family member of everyone who works in my department.
Right.
On top of that,
Because you're a hoe.
one of the ladies,
Anyway.
shut up. on top of that, one of the ladies who long ago stopped being full-time, but she would come in part-time, is now training her replacement. Who is her replacement?
Oh.
Her little sister. Again, like, the nepotism is rampant throughout the company, like, legitimately. I think every single vice president of the company has family members who work for the company. So again, dictionary definition, we've already failed.
Violated.
As far as the romantic or sexual side, the number of coworkers who are married to each other is staggering.
Maybe
I have
so,
coworkers.
but were they married?
Wait. I have coworkers who met in the company and got married.
Okay.
I have coworkers who were married before they were hired. And I have coworkers who have been with the company long enough that they got married, had kids, and their kids work for the company. Like, and the tenant thing, think about what I said earlier. There are so many employees who live
That's true.
on property.
Say that. Yeah.
How you not going? You live this year? Okay, whatever. Again, it's literally impossible to not break this rule.
Right.
So back to the original couple I was talking about. The craziest thing about them is that they tried to hide their relationship. Like, really tried. Like, it was the worst kept secret in the entire company.
Right.
Literally everybody knew that they were in a relationship. Privacy is one thing, right? And I'm all for privacy. I've dealt with several people in the company, only one actual relationship, but I didn't go telegraphing the relationship. But also, I didn't deny it or act like it was somebody else that I was in a relationship with either. Like, that just seems weird. Like, they don't owe anybody their relationship. Of course not. It just is weird because we already know. We know. The weirdest stuff of them all, whenever he would tell stories about her, he would never say her name. Even to me, who knows? Like, I don't know that they are together from hearsay. Y'all came to my mother's house. What are we? What are we talking about? Like, what? There's no point. Again, this is not an enforced rule.
Yeah, it's not like something
Because,
but
these
problem is, though,
relationships aren't secret.
If you ever had new management come in and
the owner of the fucking company.
Oh damn.
The owner of the company.
He breaking the rules too?
I might get this wrong. But if I understand correctly, the owner of the company, her husband works for the company. I don't know if it's her brother or her brother-in-law works for the company. Her daughter just got hired. What are we talking?
Yeah.
Another vice president, his son recently joined the company to effectively replace him. My supervisor is not my supervisor. Her sister is another one of the vice presidents. Like,
wow.
like what are we talking? What are we
Wow.
talking? This is not a secret. Everybody knows these things. But you feel like your relationship is so important.
It's special.
It's so precious that you gotta hide, even though everybody already knows.
You don't know that.
It's the worst kept secret. And the entire time that I've been working for this company, this has been the worst kept secret. The absolute worst kept secret. Everybody fucking knows. What do you mean? Like, the first time somebody's ever said it to me, I was like, how did you know? Because, again, I knew because I saw firsthand. They came to my mother's house. Right. But I'm like, how did you know? And they were like, everybody knows. I'm like, really? And then over the years, slowly but surely, I found out, yes, every fucking body knows.
Everybody knows.
Somebody even told me, I didn't see this firsthand. Somebody told me he threw a temper tantrum one day because somebody mentioned it.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know if you just trying to be super, super private or you scared that you might get in trouble. I don't know. I have no idea. And because it makes no sense otherwise.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't.
I like, who cares? No, nobody cares. Legitimately, nobody cares. It's not a big deal. Like, you're you're having this conversation with people who are married to people in the company. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What are we talking about here? Why is this a conversation?
Yeah. But anyway, RIP to her. And I hope he's okay.
For real.
I hope he's okay, because
absolutely,
like I said, that's out of the two. That's my actual relationship is him, and I can imagine being in that situation. So I hope he's okay. All right, y'all know what time it is. It's time for the asshole. So funny enough, I had kept. Remember last week when I said I still had some? I had kept those tabs open. One of them got removed from Reddit.
Hold up, before you continue, I just thought of a way we can have music for that opening segment and not have to pay anybody anything.
I'm already on it.
Oh, gotcha.
I literally had that same thought. So which one do I want to do? I kind of feel like I want to do one where people think that it's the asshole, because those are more fun. Am I the asshole for telling a doctor to shut up on a turbulent flight? Actually, all right, whatever. 30-year-old man was on a flight from Atlanta to LAX. Packed flight, everyone just trying to get some sleep. About 2 hours in, the lights come on and an announcement crackles through the intercom. Turbulence ahead, fasten seatbelts, pretty standard stuff. Then all hell breaks loose. This woman, maybe late 40s, impeccably dressed, starts freaking out, screaming about air pockets, demanding to speak to the pilot, the whole 9 yards. Flight attendant, super patient lady, tries to calm her down, explains its standard procedure, and turbulence is normal. Nope, didn't work. This lady, who we'll name Jane, throws a fit, not the screeching nails on the chalkboard kind, but a cold, steely fury.
That's close enough.
She accuses the flight attendant of lying, of putting everyone in danger, and demands to be deplaned immediately. Ma'am.
I demand.
How you gonna be deplaned? How do you expect that to work? Like, what do you? Okay, anyway. Flight attendant says that's not possible mid-flight, and Jane launches into this whole spiel about how she's a doctor, pulls out an ID to prove it, and if something happens, And if something happens, it's on the airline. Now, the rest of the plane is awake. People are grumbling, some looking scared. A baby starts crying. Yo, I feel like you're adding sauce to this, my guy.
It really does. That's what he's doing, bro.
Right. Flight attendant is trying to reason with Jane, but it's like talking to a brick wall. Finally, I just lose it. I yell out, probably a little too loudly, "Look, lady, we all get turbulence. It's not a 5-star resort, but it's safe. Sit down and shut up before you get yourself arrested."
Such a dumbass thing.
Everyone stares at me. Jane spins around, eyes blazing, and stares in on me about disrespecting a medical professional. I fire back that a real doctor wouldn't be causing a scene and freaking everyone out. The flight attendant dives in.
I'm confused. I am so confused right now. So there's a rule where you can't talk shit to a doctor?
I don't fucking know. The flight attendant dives in trying to mediate, but the damage is done. We hit some turbulence, not terrible, but enough to jostle the plane. Jane freaks again, and some people start getting panicky. I feel awful. Maybe I made things worse. The flight attendant gives me a look that could curdle milk, but then steers Jane away to talk to her privately. By the time we land, things are calmer, but the tension is thick. Jane gives me a withering look as she disembarks, and a few people mutter thanks under their breath. So, am I the asshole? Did I just escalate a bad situation, or was I right to shut down a meltdown that was putting other passengers on edge? I'm honestly not sure. I'm slightly confused as to why everybody is calling him
Me too.
the asshole.
Me too.
Okay, let's see. You're the asshole.
I know why. Let me hear this.
You're the asshole, but unknowingly. The crew are trained to handle these sorts of situations. And you and your frustration escalated it. I fly a lot. I'm also a very big guy who looks like he can handle himself. There's kind of an unwritten rule that if there's an aggressive passenger, you sit the fuck down, but pay attention. Don't jump in. Don't risk making things worse in an attempt to fix the issue. Sit down, shut up, and if the crew needs help, they'll ask. You ever watch or play netball? Unlike a lot of sports where players will call for the ball, open players in netball say, "Here if you need." Or imagine going to the supermarket and you see someone with a pallet stocking shelves. You don't just start grabbing stuff and putting it on the shelf saying, "I'm just trying to help." Let the professionals handle it. I didn't think about that. Is it possible that his outburst could have made the situation worse? Yes. I didn't think about it like that, honestly. I don't know. Maybe the people felt that way because he did say everybody was staring at him. Like, yeah, but imagine this though.
What people saying thank you?
No, he didn't. He never said anybody thanked him. Oh, that's what I'm saying. So imagine this situation. Imagine somebody is on the plane while the plane's moving and they are causing a scene, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're the person people are staring at. I didn't think about it at first, but bro.
Yeah.
So
you gonna do something, big guy? You gonna do something, big guy?
Somebody says you're the asshole. It doesn't matter that you're being rude to the fake doctor. It matters that you're disrespectful to the flight attendant. Okay, all right. I guess I didn't consider this, but apparently this is a thing.
All right, so hear me out. The question in my mind was where they handle it. People say they trained to do it, and I'm sure they are. But just because they train you to do something doesn't mean that training is being helpful at the time. So the question is, none of us were there. We didn't see the level of tension that was taking place.
Right.
Did it look like the training was working? Because obviously he must have felt she's still wilding and what y'all doing not really stopping her from wilding, and it's getting people nervous. Now,
or he could have just been annoyed and lack impulse control.
That could be it too. But as I sit back and think about one of those planes that went down to Pennsylvania in 9/11 was because motherfuckers tried to take over.
Right. And nobody did anything.
Well, no. Well, in that case, they got up and did it. The provision was supposed to hit the White House.
That's right. The one that did, yes. Absolutely.
The one that hit the buildings.
Right. But here's the thing, though.
I did anything.
I feel like that is a situation that involves multiple people.
Yeah.
if it's just one person standing up talking about some shit, I feel like no, don't get me wrong, it's annoying. That's not. I'm not taking the annoyance of it away. But one person standing up talking about some shit, I feel like
you saying I would be wholly inappropriate to unbuckle my seat, walk up behind her, grasp her around the waist, and give her a German suplex.
Yes, you would be absolutely. Yes, you would be absolutely inappropriate to do so. But yeah, that's what the consensus seems to be. It's a situation that, okay, somebody else says it a slightly different way. If flight attendants were being physically overwhelmed by a violent passenger or something, then I can see getting involved. Or perhaps if you are a therapist or somehow trained in mental health or support or conflict resolution, you can identify yourself to the flight attendant and offer your help and expertise. Yeah, bro. Listen, because imagine if somebody, not you, because you.
Shut up.
Imagine there's a flight and there's somebody who's hysterical, not causing any actual issue, just hysterical, just disturbing the peace verbally, not attacking anybody verbally, just scared about turbulence,
right?
And they freaking out, right? And somebody else stands up. It's like, if you don't shut the fuck up, I can understand certain types of people being on that plane feeling like now there's an escalation, things might get out of hand.
That's true.
So
that's true. But okay, so let me put it this way then. Obviously, the workers on the plane were not being physically overwhelmed.
Right.
So there was no reason for him to get involved physically.
Correct.
And he didn't.
Right.
Maybe they were being overwhelmed verbally.
Oh, shut the hell up. No, yo, listen, I feel like that doesn't apply. I feel like there's like yes, she might have been getting that verbal ass whipping. However, that don't really warrant anything. Like, I mean, she got the best of her verbally. Who the fuck cares? This isn't an episode of Raw.
This isn't a battle rap event.
Right. Like, you don't engage in fisticuffs afterward. Nobody was being insulted or anything.
Listen. It was bars being thrown.
Oh, okay.
And he felt like he couldn't sit there, being the rapper that he is, and not spend some bars.
Yo.
Oh man.
And see, this answer is making me submit my answer of this person being the asshole. Not the asshole. Hard disagree with everyone telling you you're an asshole. Maybe more people should present a united front instead of getting out of their phones to take videos of flight attendants getting verbally abused. If a handful of people tell you to shut up, you'll probably shut up. Too much sitting back and relying on some authority figure. Yeah, I gotta go with he's the asshole now.
Yeah,
I don't like that
last part. I didn't like that last part. Like waiting on some authority figure. That speaks to something. You know that has a like you definitely not.
This motherfucker, maybe more people should present a united front. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking? What?
No, I'll tell you what it was. They were both. Some people were supposed to get up and give her the 3D.
Right. Like, what are you talking about? Like everybody else, according to the context that I didn't think about, everybody else was on a united front. They were doing what the fuck they were supposed to do.
Fuck up.
They were doing their best to ignore the situation.
They united and fucked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances, I was originally saying, what did he do wrong? Like,
what did she pull?
But given the context that I didn't think about, I gotta go if he's the asshole.
I mean, begrudgingly.
Yeah,
like annoying. Like
right,
really annoying.
Right. But I think about how I've reacted in certain situations where it's a public situation and somebody just has an outburst. I generally be like, "Oh, damn, they wilding." Like,
all right, so generally that should be for me too. I ain't gonna lie. Like on the, but it also depends on the situation. Like I've been on the bus, and some rude ass, loud ass dude going off on some old lady.
See, that's
about
the
something.
okay. Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I needed to say something at the very
Okay,
least.
but
pull
you
his
have no
attention.
reasonable expectation that old lady is going to be victorious in that scenario, though.
No. and at the very least, it's to pull the attention off of her.
Right.
Because I don't know what this dude is
Mhm.
allowed to do. And there's been times when it's been me and my homeboys like in public and some shit kick off. And I'm just gonna say we was ass back then. So and on that note, we was trying to use the assness for good.
Facts.
For good, you know what I'm
Facts. Absolutely. Listen, I feel like if it's a situation where you feel like somebody's in imminent danger and you feel compelled enough to intervene, that's one thing.
Yeah.
From his own words, it didn't seem like
no
anybody was. Yeah.
He wasn't trying to rush the cabin. And shit.
Right. So I'm like, I don't know. All right, one more.
Maybe. Did you ever think about this? Maybe she was biding that time. That was next to that was. And if he hadn't said nothing, she's like, "Oh shit!" If he wanted to say something, he wanted to definitely get up.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. All right, last one. Am I the asshole for dropping out of a wedding after being told to cover up some scars and a skin condition?
You want to know how I got these scars?
Shut up. Hello, I'm female 21, and the skin condition in question is vitiligo. I kind of figured that.
Okay.
And despite it now covering more than half of my body, I've come to accept it. I also have pretty distinct scar on my cheek, and oh god, of course it would be the cheek. And another one, the entire length of my arm. They're not really nice looking, but it's whatever. I do not cover any of that up. I'm happy with how I look, and I don't want to hide a part of me. But that brings me to the wedding party in question. My cousin Dan is marrying Laura in May. I've befriended her through Dan, and she was always nice, and I never made a fuss about how I look. That said, when she asked me to be her bridesmaid and I accepted, she asked if I could cover the scars up. I admit I wasn't too happy, but then again, they can be an eyesore, so I agreed. That was last autumn. A few weeks ago, she extended the request to covering up the skin condition, which would mean two things really. Either have completely different dress or attire than I already bought and other bridesmaids had, or be 60% concealing cream for the day. For everyone there, that would just make more stand out and make Laura blatantly look bad, in my opinion. Why does she have a suit? Didn't she entirely ditch
Right.
years ago? That type of thing. I explained that I can't do that for said reasons, to which she basically told me to figure something out, that she doesn't want me taking the attention away. I told her everyone attending already knows me, so I don't know what's wrong. Laura still demanded I figure something out. So I did the simplest.
You're ugly anyway. I'm always going to
shut up. So I did the simplest thing I could to appease her. Can't steal her thunder when I'm not in the party. I still intended to come as a guest and in a normal dress though. Laura still told me to cover up even as a guest. I told her no, which she didn't take well. So now I'm not attending at all. Dan told Laura to let it go and kind of tries to calm her down, and most people relatively agree with me. But I also had people tell me to swallow my pride for a day. So am I the asshole? All right. Here's the thing. I might have a hot take. I'm gonna say something. Because of what I think about weddings, I will go so far. I ain't gonna go but so far. Oh, like are you asking in earnest?
Yes.
It's a show.
Oh, yeah, it's a show.
It's a show that is 100% for the vanity of the bride, generally the bride, sometimes the groom as well, but generally it's nothing but a vanity.
No, I don't disagree with that at all, because you can literally go down to the court. Y'all love each other,
bro.
Get this moving. Y'all want to save this money so y'all can go on the actual honeymoon. That's cool, or buy a house.
Absolutely,
you can literally go down to the courthouse, get that shit,
all that shit. Yeah. So, but That being said, I kind of don't blame Bradzilla. Now, hold up. But still, no, you're still not the asshole. I still don't think you're the asshole.
I don't think
But
so.
I also don't necessarily blame Bradzilla for if you are
think
in a
she the ass
situation.
cheek?
Bradzilla?
No.
Oh, well,
that's
no.
the
I'm not gonna go that far. I feel like she behaved perfectly appropriately.
Right.
It's just that I also understand that if you're in a situation where you've got this big ass vanity show that's scheduled to happen, and you happen to have some type of insecurity about yourself, you're gonna react that way.
Right.
I understand it. I'm not saying she right, but I understand it. So no, I'm still not gonna call you the asshole, but I understand her point. Not even whether she's wrong, but I get it. I get why she would feel that way. I get why she would say that thing. I wish, for the sake of the story, that she would have said both in the beginning instead of just saying the scars in the beginning. Because at the point where she says, "Hey, could you cover up your scars for the wedding?" That nobody's on any. I understand the argument that, don't make her feel away, but it goes back to that old trope. Everything about that day is about the bride.
So what if she decided just not to go? Would she be the asshole then?
No, I don't. Listen, but again, that's probably a unique thing to me because that's how I would feel. If I was planning something for myself or somebody, well, it was being planned for me, whatever the case may be, and I have an idea in mind and you don't want to adhere to that idea, I don't want you there. So you deciding that you don't want to comply with my rules, and because of that, you decided that it's best you don't show up, I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. So no, I don't think she's the asshole for any part of this. Right. But I just kind of understand the scenario that she puts herself in. And quiet as kept, I've seen people in real life who have vitiligo. So they are right. 9 Milli homegirl. That we did the Savage shoot. So like they, especially if they are like, if they have the what's the word I'm trying to find, if they're within the realm of that whole conventional beauty bullshit, and they also have this condition, it's a striking thing. Like it is an attention grabbing type of situation. So I get it, but like, you still wrong. You're still wrong because you shouldn't treat people like that. Like, but because of what I feel weddings are, I understand. But OP, no, you're not. Nothing about what you did was wrong. You handled yourself the way that you should. I wouldn't be mad at you if when she asked you about the scars, you was like, no.
I mean, that was literally her chance to go. I know I got these scars. That's an opportunity that you gotta.
Yes, yes, that would have been her chance to do such. But yeah, no, like I don't like, even if at the beginning she was like, "Hey, could you cover up your scars?" and she was like, "No." Good shit. Good shit. I fuck with it.
Because the thing is, that's a really, I understand, but that's a really awkward ass. It is. It is. You don't know just how self-conscious that person is.
You don't know their mental journey with this thing.
Yeah, yo.
And then to know that she used to be one of those girls that did the concealer thing, and now she has long stopped doing that, and now you want her to do it again. No, that's you putting her in a terrible situation. So whatever, like I feel like I look at this the same way I look at complaints in relationships, whether romantic, friend, family, work. A complaint doesn't necessarily mean that this is the end all be all. I hate you. This is not. No, a complaint is me expressing how I feel about something, and we can address it as adults.
Right.
So my one girl's complaint is I think that you will be drawing attention away from me on my big day. The response was, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't get mad at her for being like, I'm out.
Agreed. I'm not covering my scars. It's a big day.
No.
I'm pretty sure there'll be video of it. I might check that out, or pictures.
Right. Yeah, because we're not going.
Congrats though. Congrats on your shit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. But yeah, no, I won't be attending.
I won't be
it's
there.
cool.
I hope you have a good one though. Like don't
listen.
think about me. Think about your wedding. I won't be there. So
and here's the thing. Anybody out there that's listening to me, and you think that I'm being extreme, just understand that there are a lot of brides that have what if you were the person who contains the restriction that they're trying to enforce, you would feel it was extreme.
That's facts.
So like what we're supposed to draw the line, because bruh, if a complaint is a complaint, and that's all a complaint is, take it as such. Anything beyond that can be a case-by-case thing that's dealt with between adults. So your complaint,
you stipulated in the beginning, this is a complaint between people with a relationship.
Right.
Strangers, like a complaint from a stranger could degenerate into something else.
Yeah, that's different.
Absolutely.
Right.
But this is between people who know each other and shit. So
yeah. Like, all right, your opinion, you think this would be too attention grabbing for your wedding? Okay, cool. My counterpoint is I won't be there.
Right. That's all. And can't really nobody be mad about her decision. She's trying to help you out.
Right. Now I can understand the idea of being conflicted because you really want to be there for your friend, your male friend, but nah.
Let me take another hit. Yes, his reason.
Nah, bro, because I'm really big on the whole nuance thing. I'm really big on the nuance thing. Discord said, geez, from people bitching about people on stage and for them to insult them. Look, both, and that's kind of my point though. Both things exist in this. Like it is absolutely a possibility that makes sense for people to see her and be like, oh, she's stunning, or whatever the case may be, and not be paying attention to the bride. It's also absolutely possible for people to see her and have negative thoughts and be insulting towards her. So, like, I get it.
But see, okay, so here's the thing with me, right? So I am definitely a reactionary. It's who I am. Mm-hmm. But there are conditions that will cause me to just react without considering some of the nuance, right? If I'm not hungry, at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
How it was, the whole situation came about. And like the way it was expressed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's I don't have a gun on me.
I know one we share. That is my big one. If it's not me.
Yeah.
If it's one of my peoples.
Yeah.
That nuance kind of.
I'm kind of on some other shit.
Yeah.
Because like, all right, so I can take a certain amount of, because sometimes you got to look at yourself and go, I have a habit of misinterpreting shit to be more than what it is. So I gotta double check in here, right? Are you doing that now? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to my vote, I really don't.
Nah, the nuance doesn't really apply. Because like people will hear. I'll give a less extreme example. People will hear me talk about, like, give advice to people about their relationships. Again, not just romantic, all types of relationships. And I'll be like, yo, you shouldn't have to deal with that type of shit. Dip out, be gone. show them your absence. And I'm like, oh, you hard on people. You hard on people. Do you hear the stories of the people that I cut off of my life and how much grace I give them before I reach that point?
Facts.
You don't understand.
But again, I'm gonna tell you what the clear example is though. So you'll have nuance in the situation that is directly concerning you.
Mm-hmm.
But I have literally watched even with Addie, even with me, I've watched you when we say such happened. You know, so who we beating up? Who we like, you know what I'm saying? Like where he live? Like shit like that, right? So I know exactly what you're saying because I'm that way with my kids. I'm that way with you, Addie. I'm that way with my wife. I'm that way with Graydon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm that way. I probably that it hasn't come up. I'm probably that way with Cindy too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what'd you say? You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So it's, you know,
I mean, so like that's the whole thing, and that's what I try to do because, especially on the podcast, because it's a longer form situation, so I can actually get to all of the nuance and fully explain myself, and there's a lesser chance of me being misinterpreted.
That's true. But in person, though, it's kind of
listen, certain conversations. It depends on who I'm having the conversation with.
Well, yeah, of course.
Social media is not the place for certain conversations.
And that I agree with 100%. I've never really been that guy to publicly put like stuff that definitely needs to be a more controlled environment conversation because the people, it's public. Other people will get involved.
Mm-hmm. And
you'd be surprised how big that fire will get.
Yep.
The more people throwing wood on that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do shit. I've seen people do this, and I really hated it. I've seen people, family members, in the past when Facebook was relatively like newish. I've seen family members doing shit like that, and I was like, "Yo, this is not shit that's supposed to be discussed in public." I don't know what the fuck people are doing over there. So
absolutely,
yeah, no, I feel you.
Like I've even come to calling myself Mr. Nuance on some of my TikTok videos.
Mr. Nuance. It depends.
People will just say dumb shit, yo.
Sometimes people will take your ability to have nuance and abuse it.
Yeah.
Like they'll say something 100, like there's no redeeming value to that take you just gave.
Mm-hmm.
It is either dehumanizing or it is just about the dumbest shit that anybody can say out their face.
Right.
And then the moment you go to correct them, well, I thought you was Mr. You were Mr. Nuance. Nah, B, that shit you just said that.
There was no nuance.
No nuance that covers that.
I'll give you I'll give a non-incendiary example. Well, it shouldn't have been. Whatever. So it was the nigga on TikTok I follow. He be talking about music type stuff sometimes. Actually, I haven't seen a video where he wasn't talking about something related to music. But he made a video talking about Chris Brown. And his argument was that he sees people all the time talking about how they don't like Chris Brown. He's a terrible person and they don't listen to his shit. But he goes on Spotify and sees that Chris Brown is like the 50 top, like 20, is it 21st or 51st? One of them is still, it's high as fuck as far as the amount of monthly listeners. And he's like, so y'all motherfuckers lying. And he has 50 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Sir, you just don't understand context. You don't understand. You don't understand scale.
Yeah.
And you're not applying critical thinking. 50 million.
You dumb as shit.
No, see, here's the thing about it. I like the thing about it. I like his content, and we both follow each other. And I've realized that I could get in trouble for a lot of these responses that I have to people. So I try to be a little more diplomatic than I used to be. So I said, I'm like,
what you gonna do when it go away though?
Oh, nigga.
Oh.
So I was like, bruh, I found out I had to source his, his claims, and he was absolutely right. The numbers that he said for Chris Brown were true. And I pulled up YouTube Music to get those numbers as well, just for some comparison, because again, you're only using one fucking. I'm trying to make this as close to the scientific method as I possibly can.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm looking on. He's like, I can't remember which number it was. I'm just gonna say a number, so don't hold me to this number.
Right.
But he's like number 21 top monthly streamers on Spotify, and like number 30 or something like that on YouTube Music, right? So I said, all you got to do is look at the rest of the list.
Yep.
Look at the people above him. Do you know those people?
Right.
If you don't, because I named several people. I said, I don't know none of those people I just named. And then there are people on this list who I know of, but I don't ever hear anything about, especially currently, like Maroon 5 and Imagine Dragons. I don't be hearing a bunch of shit about them.
Yeah, that's true.
But they super high on those lists. So I'm like, 50 million, it's pennies.
Yeah.
There's 330 million people.
Literally pennies.
Yeah, there's 330 million people in the country.
Right.
There's 330 million people in the country. 8 billion people in the world.
You ain't even covering the nation you live in. You're not
right.
even covering that.
I'm like, bruh, the fact that there are people that you have never heard of that have a following bigger than his to tell you. And then I'm like, if you scroll on social media all day, like one whole day, you might come across 100,000 people, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. So think about how small 100,000 is compared to 50 million.
Yeah,
think about how small 50 million is compared to 8 billion.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? No, the conclusion you came to is that these people are hypocrites. No, you have no evidence of that. You have zero evidence of that. I am one of those people who don't listen to Chris Brown.
Me either.
So I'm lying. I'm lying because he has 50 million monthly streams.
Yeah.
50,
and again,
a measly 50 million. And somebody heard me say
I just feel like people need to chill.
Bruh.
People need to chill. Like, especially when all the stuff we learn about these streamers, stuff like that. Like, yo, some of the shows y'all dying on is really crazy.
Right.
Really crazy.
And also fucking context with that too. Like, I can have that conversation with a 20-year-old, with a 17-year-old,
right.
And they'd be like, "Nuh-uh," but I'm fine with that. But a 38-year-old, because they fucking kids. I get that.
Come on, Danny Glover, you too old for this shit.
Like, I get what up, cuz. I get that. So, but for you in your sir, I don't know him. I'm not trying to attack him or anything. Nigga, look 40.
Right.
Look like you in your 40s, bruh. I'm telling you that it's likely. Fine, you might have a couple people that are just trying to be a part of the bandwagon, and they see people talking bad about him, so they talk. Absolutely, it's possible, 100%. But I guarantee you, the vast majority of people that are willing to come out and publicly talk about not listening to a person because of things that they've done, they're probably not listening to that person.
Yeah. And again, just calling people hypocrites. Like, first of all, why they gotta lie, Craig?
Yeah, for what reason?
Yeah, like there's no reason for that. No reason.
Like, so, all right, so in context, a story, because the most recent story I heard about him was the whole All-Star game thing, where he was supposed to play at the All-Star game, but Ruffles stepped in and they was like, no, we don't want this. If that story is what you're referring to, because that story happens and then a bunch of people were talking about how they didn't listen to him, nigga, that's your context right there. That's the thing that proves you wrong.
I was about to say that. Like, if anything, that proves what you're saying to be wrong.
He made a response video. I ain't never watch it.
You shouldn't, because it's foolish.
Nah.
The only thing he
Facts,
should be
Mike.
the only thing he should be saying that response with is, I was wrong. If you ain't saying
Bruh.
that, I really ain't interested in hearing.
He made a response video. I can. So when somebody tags you in the video, you see when people like it.
Mm-hmm.
I've only gotten 3 notifications from that video.
Of course you did, because you see village idiots unite from all over the planet, and it's in varying degrees of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
He is so idiotic that he doesn't really have a lot of other village idiots that agree with that shit. So the 3 that clicked on that, that's 3 out of how many people?
But hold on. To be fair, I don't know if he admitted to being wrong or not. I've never watched the video, so I don't know.
Listen, it doesn't matter if he admitted to being wrong or not. He made the initial take.
Thanks.
And then the response to you only got 3 likes.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, bro. Because I was initially, I was going to listen to it. I was like, what this nigga got to say? But then I was like, what? Why?
Yo, I swear that attitude right there, I get that more and more. Like, it's times I am literally in the middle of a YouTube video that I saw the thumbnail, and okay, I'm mildly interested in this, and something distracts me, and I gotta go and do something else, and I come back to it, I'm like, I'm not watching that. Yo, I'm this way with a lot of shit now.
Yeah.
Like, in other words, I know your take. I already know what you want. No surprises here. No surprises here. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like,
yo, it's the bittersweet part of the profound sadness.
Yep.
Because you already know. You already know it's about to happen. There's no reason for me to actually.
If we want to utilize that for good, for us, will be it's efficient. You waste less time.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Listen,
there's no reason for me to take the time to do this.
But that profound sadness, but see, that's only like the one part of it. Like most of the other shit to it is literally annoying and
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
it's like the silver lining, bright light in the profound sadness.
Yeah. It's like, yo, y'all go fucking. And my thing is this. I know what I don't know, and I try to stay in my lane unless it's something about what I don't know that I'm interested in at the time. And then the thing to do is to try to get to know some shit about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing to do. So a lot of times I know people may randomly come across our podcast or whatever, and hear us talking like this. You might be getting the perception that we think that we just these super smart. No, we're not.
Nigga,
and that's not our beef. Our beef is know your role and shut your mouth.
No, it's actually it's cool to not know.
It's if you don't know, you can stand on business of not knowing.
Yes.
Without you feeling like, oh damn, if I act like I don't know or say I don't know, which I really don't, people will think less of me. No, I think less of you when I know you don't know, and you pretend to know without any caveats.
Exactly.
You hit me like the caveat. This is real simple. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it, but it sounds like to me, caveats all across the board. You're not coming off as an expert on this particular topic. You're not trying to be overbearing with your take must be the ultimate take of all takes on this. You're literally admitting that you don't know. That's not what I see happening a lot of times. A lot of times what's happening is motherfuckers be confident, wrong as a bitch. And that's
nigga.
Like,
strong and wrong.
Strong and wrong. And then have the audacity in the midst of being wrong to be insulting to other people. Like, you don't know shit about this. Like, bro, I got shared a video. This guy made a shit ton of claims about the afterlife, what a soul actually is, all this shit. He made a bunch of claims. He didn't present one he didn't say why he believed it.
Oh God.
None of that. He just made the claims. And when you look in the comments, I only saw 2 people.
Mm.
That was us.
Mm.
Where somebody said, he literally presented no, he just said some things. He literally
Right.
presented no evidence to this. Somebody else like, yo, you got any documentation to sit that backs your shit up? No, it was
Right.
3 people. Because the third person was like, they said something to the effect of, all of y'all gonna sit here and just act like what he just said there is provable fact.
Right.
And I know what he was saying, because a lot of the comments was like, oh, so that's what he didn't show you shit.
Bruh.
That's part of the profound sadness, bro. When you see
Yeah.
the number, it's I'm like, yo, can't we just say, right? How hard is it to say? I can't prove this.
Right.
But it makes sense to me.
Very simple.
And it was something I would like very much for this to be true.
Yeah.
I won't look bad. I won't look down on you. I won't do that because you made caveats. Because what you did is you did your responsibility, which is to not purposely mislead the very gullible. The very gullible have no protections against strong, wrong motherfuckers.
Facts.
They have no protections for that shit. And why should that bother you? Because here's the problem, sir. If you lived in a vacuum with nobody around you and you screw these things, fine. But we live in a society full of people who inevitably, your choices, your behavior, your influences others. And people tend to act off what they think. So maybe the shit you're saying, it's not in all cases that what the person is saying could lead to, but in a lot of these shits, I be seeing people just saying shit, and it's like, yo, that's a very dangerous statement to say without backing it up. How many people you gonna get to buy into that? It's the same as motherfuckers running around saying an election was stolen. There's no evidence, 60 court cases, no evidence presented, didn't win any of them, but just saying it, the really gullible is willing to go to the Capitol building, smear shit on the walls, attack Capitol Police, and overall be complete and total jerk-offs. This is all springs from a lie, because this society is not made up of just those of us who critically think. It's made up of those of us that either don't or can't.
Yeah. No, facts. All facts. And so that brings me to the beginning of the episode. That is why I handled it the way that I handled it, because I know that there are people who may just trust what we say.
Yeah. Yep.
May just trust what we say. Yep. And I don't want it to be a situation where, and that's also why, I haven't seen this movie. I'm not going to go to the I would never ever go to the theaters and watch this movie.
Right.
However, what we have are reviews from actual critics whose job is kind of staked on them having representing this correctly.
I'm not watching it.
I'm not watching it.
And for the record, just to keep me clear, I'm not watching any movie that has the word Negroes on it.
Bruh!
I'm not. I'm not. Tell me about it. Give me a synopsis. I'm not going. I'm not going.
I can't argue. I can't argue with you on that one. Yeah. So,
but anyway, we want to thank all of you for once again joining us for another rousing episode of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. Your continued participation in these shenanigans every Saturday actually makes this thing possible. So we appreciate your attendance and your attention. Always remember that even though the music industry is a big steaming pile of llama piss and is going down quicker than a nation of Jerry Coonies,
there's always music.
It's always music.
It's always music.
You can still participate in this on this sinking ship, much like in Titanic when they were playing while the ship was going down. That's what our music is doing. It's playing while the ship is going down.
Thanks.
So by all means, listen, run them streams up, all of that.
Yeah.
Do not forget that at majesticcomics.shop, we now have physical copies for issue 0 and issue 1. Get them while they last because we didn't get a whole shit ton, right?
The smoke show.
Yo, they're cooking. Yo, you was cooking. Also, don't forget reaperlegion.com. Go there, check out t-shirt, flag, hat, something. Go peep the game. People we got there. Rep the gear. You'll get your fit, as the young kids say.
Okay. All right. Yes.
So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.